That was so fast. I'm never going to get this right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a fun middle of the day D&D. And it's new and it's fun and it's ran by our new friend Jonathan. Or well, not new friend, new to the Consay friend, Jonathan.
I'm not your new friend.
I mean, well, I guess
I don't
we are
believe
new
it.
friends, but you've known
You're
Lewis
my
a
old
while.
friend.
Yeah.
True.
You know, it's time's weird. It's all over the place. But I'll just go through real quick what we got going on, which is tomorrow morning. Come hang out for some Minecraft mornings with Lewis and Blair, and then me and Heather probably bopping around in the background, saying things sometimes and saving people. Then Sunday night, we have Game Watch, and every Sunday have that. Tuesday, Aegon coming back, so keep an eye out for that. Then I believe sometime during the week, I haven't decided yet. At some point in time during the week, Midway Madness is going to drop on our YouTube, so you should go watch that. And it's also over on High Shelf Gaming Twitch VODs right now, so you go check that out. More D&D. We've had so much D&D lately. Thursdays, every other Thursday, we have Game Therapy, where I'll play something, and then the other Thursdays, Jake runs D&D for Doom of Annihilation. We have some Cyberpunk coming, thanks to Joseph, and which is that way to me. I don't know.
Somewhere.
Somewhere in the sea there. I don't know. It's probably flip-flopped. And I think that's everything we do. Is that everything we do? Did I catch it all? Be sure to go over to High Shelf Gaming, where there's some fun stuff in the works. Plus, Blair and I play Mass Effect TRPG. That's all the con-save stuff. Also, just go down below for all the fun links, because, hey, Lewis, what do you do other than this?
I do a podcast every Thursday with three morons. We just talk about random stuff. Every Thursday around 1 to 2 we upload on our YouTube, Spotify, Apple, CLSD Podcast.
LSD. Hell yeah. The link down below will take you to Spotify. That's what I've linked. So if you want to listen to other things, you gotta do the work.
And we talk about very not on topics.
That's
Awful.
Best, though.
I'd recommend.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. Anything else anyone wants to talk about? I think that's all the stuff we do, right?
At the moment.
Cool. All right. Well then, I'm gonna shut up, because guess what? I don't have to run a game again. I haven't ran a game in so long. This is great. And it's up to Jonathan, and I'm gonna get all moody now.
Oh. Here we go, I guess. So, the continent of Rylan is split into 3 districts. They've now announced themselves as their own countries, but a few years ago, the warring lands of Rylan were once a grand continent, all combined and coalesced into one crusading, war-loving nation, led by the Illuminati-like leaders at the tippy top, the religious zealots, and the religious people known as the Circle. In the north, I've already forgotten the name of it. Let me look at my lore.
I thought you were reading off something. I'm impressed you made it that far, just off your head.
It's Kilvin. That's what it's called.
There you go.
So, in the north, the frosted lands of Kilvin, a breeding ground of dragons in the winter and mysterious fey creatures in the summer, have recently fought back against the central continent of Rylan, creating new machinations known as firearms or arc slingers to the real people in the know. They've led multiple wars against the crusading continent of Rylan, announcing their own independence, announcing themselves as Kilvin. They now sit there waiting, after winning their revolutionary war, to travel further down south to eventually take well, the people who oppressed them for so long's heads and conquer Ryland for themselves. In the center of the continent, his namesake, Ryland, a European-like crusader continent, monstrous cities, large cathedrals, hundreds of thousands of stained glass windows. The streets are cobblestone and the walls are large. There's a draft, a heinous draft that many people have dodged from the past, but thanks to their hundreds of wars in hundreds of different theaters across the world, their economy is in shambles and the people are picking at them every action they do. There's nothing but endless war in the center and in the south, where our game's going to be set. The place our game's going to be set. Thank you. Continent called Braven. Swampy. The evening is filled with iridescent glows of strange phantasmal creatures who lurk in and out of shadows. Do not travel into the witchwoods too deep, lest you be kidnapped, taken away, charmed by the spirits of the swamp. In the south, a rumor has been going around that one of the world leaders, a man named Sultan Shahrazad, has recently shown up. Hasn't done anything yet, but is now enacting his revenge upon Rylan after they stormed their home and, well, destroyed a lot of them. Our adventure starts in the little town of Wickwood, a small sleepy village that are, I would hesitate to call them adventurers, wayward travelers and people of the swamp have recently accidentally saved. They've gathered together and are wanting to travel to a new place, a village known as Heartshome. As you all stand there waiting on the side of the road, waiting for a man named Bob Tuck, human male, balding, maybe around 40. His sun-cracked skin's wrinkly, and he looks older than what he would appear. I would like all of you to describe your character, if you would, please. Introducing them, let's say Jake first.
I am playing Kane. He is a sorcerer. He's quite short, 5'6", 5'7". He's later teens. In his later teens, he's got wild brown hair and a large dark black cloak. He wears a wooden mask that he carved himself that goes into 5 points at the top, and he just has a bright red glow from behind them. He's probably a little fidgety, just kind of standing there, looking over his shoulder a little bit, maybe. But yeah, that's him.
Joe, who are you playing?
So I am playing Wyndon, a human alchemist, artificer, but more geared towards alchemy. He's about, I don't know, 5'6", 5'7", and he's a little bit more heavy set, and he dons just a leather tunic with a scowl. Not a scowl. Cowl. he does have
Scowl
a scowl
as well?
though.
Yeah.
Yes, he has a scowl as well. He has it's basically like a lamp and magnifying glass contraption. As you can see in my cosplay, at least half of that. And he has scars from as one of his experiments on his left side, almost like chemical burns, and they just never healed up properly. And a red flower, always right above his left ear.
All right. What about you, Lewis? Who are you playing?
I'm playing a warlock named Pello. He's not like he's well built, like 5'10", a little bit shorter than someone of his build, but he mostly wears a mixture of like leathers and furs, kind of just scrapped together. But he has this big, almost like a almost crimson but more brown jacket with a giant fur lining on the collar. And he's a bit more serious in terms of like his outlook, but overall not like a grumpy person, more optimistic, always ready. And he carries this big, almost like kind of it's worn. It's a mixture of stone with a like metal lining. It's a giant sword, mostly just stabs with it. And at the end, tied to a rope, there's 2 chakrams on it. And yeah,
All right.
he's a bit younger, like 24.
And what about you, Taylor?
So, I am playing Dara. She is a wood elf. She's, look, we're all pretty average height. She's probably 5'8"ish, standing around y'all's heights. She is very muscular. Like you can just kind of, she's like one of those that she's not like a lean fit. She is like, could see the guns. And she's got on these like leather pants and boots that are just covered in muck, have holes in them. She has on this like shirt that looks like it was probably white at one point in time, that is now just dingy and ripped. And then a green coat that pretty fucking nice, but it looks very old, maybe a little too small at this point. But she's wearing it, and she's got, her hair pulled back in braids and a big red feather to go with the red. She does look a little odd compared to most wood elves. She has almost wolf-esque eyes, and they're like that really deep kind of goldish yellow color. And her canines are like a little long. They almost kind of poke out a little bit. It gives her a very off-putting look, so she kind of stays kind of tucked to herself. And mechanically, she's a barbarian, so we'll see. She's got a big old great axe strapped to her back, and she's got like a quarterstaff that she essentially like uses as a walking stick. And she's just kind of in the back of the pack.
Character descriptions is always my favorite part of the game. I could just do it forever. I love hearing what all of you think about your characters.
It's my favorite part as well.
So, all of you stand there kind of awkwardly. Not exactly best friends as of yet, or if ever. All of you secretive and withholding in your own ways. The rain hits you hard. Like a ton of little rocks bouncing off your armors, off your head, off your hat, off your hood. You've been waiting for the better part of maybe about 20 minutes now. you would eventually hear far off in sort of the deepest part of the village this clopping of hooves and the whirring of wagon wheels as you think someone is on their way. The sky is currently dark and filled with cloud, but it's only the middle of the day, maybe around 1 o'clock. The forest and swamp around you stands tall, enough to blot out the clouds and the sun. It gives you this really unsettling feeling as you all sort of look out into this vast wilderness of mudded water and tall standing trees. The only symbol of civilization is a long, packed dirt road that stretches out into the darkness and mist as you all sit there in silence. A little bit later, you would hear the car getting closer and closer. You would see a lantern attached to the front of this car, dangling and swaying in the rain. You hear some errant sizzling as it's broken and leaky as the rainwater's dropping into the oil and into the flame. You see sat there on the front of this merchant's cart, this big wooden box, large wooden wheels, and this like flimsy tarp over the top. Bobby Tuck, once again, this middle-aged Caucasian male, balding head, but you wouldn't notice because he's got this large hood and cloak on. He rides this black stallion attached to the cart up to all of you, looks down at all of you, picks up the lantern to sort of reveal himself and to allow him to see all of you in the din. Good evening, everyone. It's a bit of a shit day today, isn't it?
Oh, it's actually quite nice.
Could be,
There we-
could be worse.
Well, they're each to their own, I guess. Well, cart's ready if you all hop on.
All right. Who's getting on first?
Wyndon does.
All right.
I'll get in not first or last.
I'm last.
Yeah.
Wyndon will get on first. That's fine.
So the back of the cart is cramped and filled with old boxes. At a curious glance, they're all empty. You think that he's emptied out his stock before heading to Heartshome himself. You all kind of caught him at a fortuitous moment as Bobby needs bodyguards to make the usually treacherous journeys across the swamplands. He turns and places the lantern on the hook at the side of the cart. Everyone good? You don't need to do anything before we leave.
I don't have much, so this is it.
Alright then. Well, introductions, I guess. My name's Bobby Tuck. It's good to meet all of you. And he puts a wrinkly old hand sort of in the back of the cart. Which amongst you shakes it?
I actively
I grab it with
recoil
both
away.
hands. I do the like shake and grab both hands and like this. I'm Kane.
Well, it's good to meet you. Are you the only person who shakes his hand?
I don't.
Anyone else?
Wyndon kind of looks and then shakes his hand, but then like a quick shake, not like and it's very limp. It's very dainty. And then just goes back and he pulls some stuff out of his pack and starts messing with some liquids.
Okay. What about you, Pelo?
I kind of just like, after seeing everyone like go and shake his hand, they'd reach up, like out and just firm handshake. I'm like, Palo Fiero at your service. And just
Oh.
boom.
Strong grip. Well, it's good to meet all of you.
Are we here to keep you safe?
I'd hope so. I can pay you for your troubles if you if we run into any trouble. But you know, we're all gonna protect each other on the road. That's how it is. That's how it's always been.
Wherever he's like sitting to drive the cart, is it like room for another person?
Yeah, there's a shotgun seat that he's taking up right now because he's just basically like man spreading on the front of his own car, right?
I just
But
get
yeah,
out and walk and then just like kind of push his leg to the side and sit next to him.
it's like kind of awkwardly shifts to the left, like all right. Welcome to the front. I'll handle the horse.
What?
I'll handle the horse. It'll be fine.
I'll keep
we'll sit at the
watch.
front. All right. Sure. He kind of looks kind of nervously as your kind of forceful entrance into his personal space. He clears his throat a little bit and hits the reins as everyone lurches forward suddenly. You have to grab onto boxes and onto the sides of the cart as the cart starts to move. The people in the back, the tarp is really just there for show. There's multiple holes in the roof, and even inside the cart, you're still getting drenched. There's little, like, corners where it's dry, so you all kind of crunch up into the little dry spots for what little room there is. He looks kind of back at all of you. So what's taking you all to Heartshome then?
For me, just looking for pretty much my next big move. You know, whatever people need, I'm there. Pretty vague, but you know, always on the move.
What do you do?
I usually take odd jobs here or there, but I'm mostly a hunter. And not a normal hunter.
Right. Like a monster hunter.
Yeah.
I like cover my hood more and like actively look away from everyone into the forest or the swamp.
He doesn't look at the road and turns to you now fully in conversation. Alright. Well, I appreciate your work, sir. And these terrible little creatures have always ravaged our villages and stuff like that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people, or what were people, just kind of disappear and fade off, and as just a memory from monsters. I just don't want, that to happen all the time. But nature does what it does.
So row for one, isn't it?
Yep.
Well, you live in the swamp. That's what you have to deal with. Now, I'm heading to Hearthstone because, well, talk about memories and silence. My brother lives there. I haven't heard from him in months, and usually we talk to each other every week. Well, every so often, whenever we can manage it. I'm worried. I haven't heard nothing from Hearthstone in months.
In months?
Yeah, been absolutely silent.
Like no one.
No one. No one's come in. No one's come out. I mean, I haven't dared to go there. Roads being dangerous as they are, and well, I got a job to do myself. I need to offload all this stuff. Help the war effort and all that. If anyone is actually interested.
Well, hopefully, it's just been a dry month of activity.
Well, hopefully. I mean, maybe it's just bandits or something killing the messengers. Who knows?
Yeah, it could be.
I guess
about
we'll
the rest
find
of you?
out.
all
You
just
see
follow
you see a little, since we're in that dry spot, but some of the rainwater gets into a flask type deal that Wyndon has, and it just, a little puff of smoke comes out, and he's just like, I hate this rain.
Sorry about that. It's been a while since I fixed it.
No, that's you know, it's I'm actually going there to find there's a specific mushroom and some moss that I know is around there, and I need more of it, as well as, I'm kind of palling around with these guys. That's. I also heard there's a little bit of an illness going around, so I want to see if I can help.
Oh. Well, all of you are all right, right? Not gonna
Yeah.
pass it on.
Perfectly fine. Yes.
Last time I got sick, I was bedridden, so I hope I don't have anything.
Oh, me neither.
I'm
All right, then.
I'm simply traveling to kindle a newfound friendship. I usually more of a loner, but
Yeah, I could tell.
this will.
No, it's a bit rude. I'm sorry. We're a bit frank over here in the swamps.
Kane
It's
and
fine.
I
I
are
like
great
you.
friends.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Get a little bit away from you.
God, I just my initial response.
Just looking at
was,
you, you just see the mask with like bright red behind it. I like you.
when you said that, I was like, I thought your name was Bobby, not Frank. Sorry.
Pause for a second.
Continue on.
All right. Let's just ignore that one then. Go on. You all mercenaries or someone, or literally just travelers?
Depends on what the
Bit of
money
both.
calls for.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Sometimes it's vacation, sometimes it's work.
Ain't that the truth? And you continue down the dirty road, now kind of getting soggier and soggier because of the rain. You travel for a good day, going through the dawn and the dusk, and then back to, going through the dusk and the dawn, and back to the afternoon, about the same time. Bobby would have supplied food and all of that, and camping in the swamp is a real pain in the ass. So you stick on the road. He mentions that Heartshome is only maybe a couple of hours away, kind of candidly. You would also notice a sign in the middle of the road, pointing off in multiple different directions, telling you where different towns are. As you pass the sign down into the Heartshome road, you would notice another sign staked into the ground in the distance. The rain is heavy and the sky is still dark. Its figure is obscured. It looks like a sign as it's a pole with a round thing on top. But the entire cart stops. I don't tend to stop for errant signs, but it's in the middle of the bloody road. Who the hell puts one of those there?
I just hop off the
no.
cart.
And Bobby grabs his sword and sheathes it from his hip a little bit, looking around.
Yeah,
might
I
go
wanna-
and check it out.
I'm intently watching behind us and only behind us.
Yeah, I'm also jumping out.
Yeah,
And
I
going towards the
immediately
front.
look on the ground, see if I see any sort of tracks, anything odd as I'm walking towards it.
As you slowly make your way towards it, make me a investigation check or a perception check. Up to you.
Let's see, what's better? God, I suck at a lot of things.
This is the barbarian life. You're good
Yeah,
at
it's the
athletics.
barbarian life.
skills.
I mean, actually, I don't suck at a lot of things. There's just a lot of things apparently charisma, which I don't know if you have caught on. I'm very bad at. I'll do investigation.
What is that? A 4.
4.
You don't see anything in the
Did I
moving
really
up
roll
to
in?
time. As you get closer and closer, the rain seems to get heavier. Suddenly you look around and you realize it's only you there. You look back and you can see your companions, but barely through the glow of the lantern light. You see figures and shapes moving around behind you, but you feel alone. You come closer to this sign, and using your Wilson eyes, you would recognize that it's not a sign. It's a head. A rotten head on a stake. Seemingly elven woman. Head long since distended with the flow of rainwater. Maggots crawling out a gap in her rotten jaw. You would notice, as you look around for danger, a decapitated body in a ditch nearby, maybe about 10 feet away.
And okay, so I just have this like feeling like I'm alone, even though I can see them. Like it's just like a heaviness.
Yeah, it's like claustrophobic. The rain has created a visible barrier between you and your companions.
I think I just kind of, not horribly loud, but kind of like gruffly, I'm like back towards like, because I see like Pillow walking. I'm just like, something's wrong. It's a head. And then I want to kind of look further into the rain and see like what could be moving about maybe, and pull my great axe off my back.
Could I say, like, as I start walking towards by the time she's visible, I wouldn't say the head is visible yet, but can I just say, like, what do you mean by a head? Oh,
Yeah, you would side up next to her and see him.
And then I just
I
like
just stop and I freeze.
I use the edge of my axe to point over at the body in the ditch, and then I just like, I don't think we're alone. Something's off.
All right, I'm pulling out my sword.
I would like all of you to make me perception checks with the disadvantage, as the thick rain is obscuring anyone lurking in the trees.
Jeez
Fucking hell.
Louise.
Natural
Taylor.
one.
No, it's happening.
None of you see anything. The rain, you think you see figures, but they turn out to be errant wolves, rabbits, and strange creatures of the forest. You don't see any hostile creatures lurking within the swamp.
Oh, hey.
Tonto.
There's absolutely no one.
I don't like this.
Yeah, I think it's best we just clear that and keep on moving.
I just like yank the stick out of the ground and kind of throw it over there towards where the body is.
The head and the stick detach and both pieces crumple down into the ditch. As you come back, you hear Bobby shout, "Oh, what was it?"
It was a head.
Oh, fuck.
Very long dead head. Well,
That's no good.
It is not good at all.
do
From
you
down in the
know-
cart behind Bobby, I just whisper like something's not right. No.
Not right at all.
So, as you all gather back up, you, Kane, and Palo would hear a crack in the swamp and the whistling of a creature. And all of a sudden, you hear the horse scream as a monstrous javelin made of bone impacts its throat. It screeches, rears up, and collapses to the ground, wheezing. Bobby is thrown from the cart as the entire thing shakes, and figures explode out of the swamp. And I'd like you all to roll initiative, please.
Big yikes.
Cool.
Hey, short campaign.
No
Oh, goddamn
token
it.
selected.
Did my...
What did I
Oh,
do
you have
wrong?
to throw your token onto the map.
Yes,
And then
everyone jump
hit.
onto the map. Yep. Drag your characters out.
Oh,
I can do it for you.
From the list.
Yeah.
from
the
the
character
list.
list.
Okay, gotcha.
There you go. I got
Bloop.
Halo.
That didn't work again. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Yeah, I got a few.
Guys, I wish I was unblinded. Where's ruins the aesthetic? Okay.
So you would all kind of be around the camp. I'll move these guys a little bit. Because they would have just exploded out of... This one, they wouldn't have nearly gotten as close. Alright. Bobby is over here and he's prone. Okay, I'll roll initiative for people.
And just to clarify, I'm supposed to click the where it's highlights under the initiative, right?
Yeah, are you
there's
highlighting
The
your
number.
I haven't rolled it yet. Sorry, I'm trying to get all the overlays up.
Yeah, you click on your token and then hit your plus whatever initiative.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I got
Why
a 10
is-
anyway. So.
There's
Why is
a
mine
roll.
the only one that has a name? Or is that just
I think it's because
because
it's yours, because
I
I
can
only
see
see
it?
my name too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I think I messed something up, but it's probably on me, but we'll figure it out
Yeah.
eventually. You will always miss something, no matter how hard you prepare. That is just life,
Yeah.
it seems.
That's life.
And that's life.
Now that's battle
Damn.
music. That's life.
Well, that's a big boy over there.
It's a large thing that we can't see.
Yeah, these weather effects
Yeah.
are great. So, I did have a different roll 20 up for me to operate, so the one up there could just stay pretty for map. But sorry, guys, I have to use it because my internet was dying for 5 seconds because I had too many roll 20s open.
Notice that everyone else has a cool picture apart from Bobby.
Poor Bubby.
He is a twat. I have to add him manually to the initiative. There you are, Bobby. How you doing, mate? He's having a great time.
He's having a wonderful day.
He's in the mud. He was a 20. Good job, Bobby.
Good old Bubby.
Bobby's killing it today.
He's killing it. All right. Tell me when you're all ready.
I have a
So
question,
ready.
actually.
Shoot.
So that spear, how big was it? Like
Uh,
roughly?
It's about maybe the size of a glaive or like a halberd. It's like a good 10-footer, maybe 8 foot. It's a big one.
Goddamn.
You could definitely pick it up and chuck it, but it would be more useful as a pike for you.
Oh, that's true.
You think a very large creature threw it.
I wonder who could have done it.
I wonder who.
Bobby. Bobby's brother.
It was that wolf. It was that wolf over there. I saw it.
You see Bobby like grow like 10 feet, and it was like, it was me.
It was
the
me
whole
all
time.
along.
It was me, Austin.
I used mage hand, dickhead. I don't know how the fuck that would work, but
Are we all good?
yeah, I'm good.
Perfect.
All right. So, you would hear a shrill screech from this mud-covered ogre crawling out of the swamp and trees. You would see underneath you at this strange kind of muddied crossroad a large old dragon skeleton. A large crystal embedded and grown out of its eye. You would notice this is in the setting called arc crystals. They're basically like crystalline, where you can use them as grenades if you're a fucking crazy person, but you can do it. And
Let's say all of us.
all of you. I mean, desperate times, right? You would see the trees surrounding you are covered in these long sword-sized thorns. They can really do a number on someone. They're basically the normal trees over here. The druids and dryads and all the creatures of the forest have changed the trees so that people struggle to cut them down. They've evolved them in such a way that they're covered in spikes. Everything that isn't this brown mud here, this sort of black mud, is difficult terrain. So your movement's halved.
Okay.
I think that's about it. So, this ogre would screech out, "I love roads. They bring the food to me." You
Aw,
hear
I don't want to
this
kill him.
strange man behind you all step out in the rain. His body's encased in a obfuscating cloak. He's wearing a silver mask that resembles a serpent with two beady eyes peering out from inside. He steps forward kind of regally as these undead climb out of the earth. "Well, good evening, everyone. I give this opportunity to everyone we ambush. One of you lives. Decide amongst yourselves. We'll kill the rest."
I
What say
hurl
you?
a javelin at him.
Right. It just impacts the ground and he steps back. "Very well then." And no, I'll say that's his turn. He doesn't get to monologue and be free. Bobby on the ground, he crawling along the ground. He's gonna come under the cart and he's gonna hide there. Everyone sees him do it, but he's in cover basically.
I don't blame him.
Where's
Bobby,
bodyguards?
that's my spot.
Halo,
All right.
it's your turn.
I'm just gonna look at the guy who was attempting a monologue. And we're
I
like,
did a pretty good job.
yeah. I mean, he did. You know, a good like 7 out of 10. But yeah, I'm just gonna be like, yeah, we're gonna have to deny that one. And I guess the nearest enemy, this dude here.
Yeah.
I am going to also the base of this tree, right here. Is there like bramble on it?
Yeah, like I
Kinda.
said, there's these like long sword-sized thorns that are sticking out of it. All the bramble and the thorns and stuff like that, they're all just this monstrous cavalcade of pain.
All right. Yeah, I guess I'm going to just first Eldritch Blast that dude and try to just push him into the tree with Repelling Blast.
Go ahead.
All right.
That's the hit. He's just a villager.
All right.
The bolt strikes his chest, and you hear this like once a person's ribcage explode and crack. It stumbles backwards, and its body gets impaled on multiple thorns. It is restrained,
All
and it
right.
takes an extra bit of damage. I'll just roll the dice. There you go. As the thorns and brambles impacted, it shudders and sort of groans and scratches at you, as it's now there.
All right. And as my bonus action, I am going to cast Expeditious Retreat, which is just it's a concentration spell.
Yeah.
Basically, I can use it to
Dash.
take a dash. Yeah,
All right.
basically.
Is it
Not
your turn?
pretty. Yeah. That's my hold.
Okay. Dara, it's your turn. What are you gonna do?
Okay. I.
Oh yeah. Also, I move here. I forgot to fucking do that. I just wanted to move up 2 feet.
That's fine.
My bad.
So, Dara, what are you doing?
I am going to first run towards old lady. Quick. I'm going to run, and you said the brown is fine, and then the dark is double.
Yeah.
Or difficult terrain. Okay, so I have 35 movement. I'm a quick little lady. 5, 10, 15. I'm gonna just get right up on this dude.
Okay.
And I am first going to
Gonna rage?
Yep. I think I am. As I run up, I goofed up. I should have not had a great axe. I should have had something one-handed. I'm going to kind of run, and as I do, like, claws, just like her hands almost morph into straight up just like woven kind of hybrid hands, and there's just these giant claws. And what is your rule on like weapons? Like if I throw my great axe on my back as I do that, does it take anything, or is that like
You
free?
basically just get a free action every turn.
Okay,
So you get one of them.
cool.
So you can.
So yeah, I'm gonna sheath it, throw it back on my little thing, pop out my claws as I'm running, and I'm going to take my attack, and then with a claw.
Go ahead.
Should I do reckless? No, I'm not gonna do reckless yet. Bup. What do I hit? Or oh, I didn't put those in my damage. Okay, hold on one sec. So it is a +5. I'm gonna do it up here. Oh, I never roll on here. I don't know how to do it. Natural 20 +5. So.
All right.
And that
You
is
need no stinking reckless.
for my claws. D6. Do you want us to do like I roll 2d6 or 1d6 and double it?
Roll 2d6.
Perfect. So that's
Holy.
11, 12,
Alright.
13, 14 damage because +3 with my claws.
All right. 14 damage. Right, you slice into this person's chest. It reacts to the blow, but kind of just stands there. Its feet sunken into the mud. Its ragged clothes now explode off its chest, and it's just kind of standing there with these wolf marks down its chest. All right.
I'm just like growling at it.
Is it your turn?
Yep, that's it because I had 2 bonus action rage, so I is done.
These mysterious cloaked men are going to take a turn. So, I would like. Okay, they're gonna run up here, and they are gonna draw their swords. Actually, they're gonna come in close. So, Palo, one attack against you.
All right.
They strike at you with these very well-made silver scimitars. And one against you, Kane.
Damn,
both me.
that one.
Oh, thank goodness.
All right. The swords go wide as one of his sword impacts in the wood and sticks there. He lets go of it and draws this kind of freaky-looking wand from his bag, from like a holster, sorry. And it's covered in this decaying snake skin. And the tip of the wand itself is a snake head.
That's bad.
That's their turn. Wyndon's turn.
All right,
What are you
I
doing?
just had a cough that made me want to die. So Wyndon is going to pull a crowbar out of his backpack, and he's going to catapult it at the big guy.
The ogre?
Yeah.
Okay. Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so for doing this, can I just click? Oh,
Well,
Ooh.
they make a save.
Yeah, they make a save. Oh, it's only 5 damage. Okay. Let's see what how the ogre reacts. Ogre's got bad decks. Roll the 3. Okay, so you catapult the crowbar. It hits her straight in the nose. You hear a splatter as her nose breaks. As she screeches and holds her face, cursing you.
that whole time, like as soon as Wyndon catapulted it, he like took one of his like magnifying glasses down over one of his eyes to just get a closer look, and he's just watching intently. Wants to see.
I goofed up.
Yeah, she's got this.
It's
What did
fine.
you do?
Because I was like, oh, the reason I put up my great axe was so I could bonus action hit, but I'd already used my bonus action. With the claws, I get to hit twice. I forgot. But that if I hit the first
next
one
turn.
again. Don't let me. I'm putting it all in because I
Wyndon.
didn't put it in my weapons.
Wyndon, is that your
See.
turn? Or are you gonna move? Or use your bonus action?
No. He's gonna stay in the cart.
Okay. The zombie's turn. This one is currently impaled on a tree, so it's going to make an athletics check to see if it can free itself. It has bad athletics. That's a 13. It's really good though. It moves its body forward, taking a step. You hear the sickening sloughing of meat and bone, and you smell the stench of this creature in the rain. That was his action. It's going to move over here, and it crawls underneath the cart, so it's currently prone. And you hear Bobby start to shout from underneath. And this zombie is going to come over here to you, Palo, and he's going to make an attack.
Alright.
Okay. It hits you. You don't take any damage. It's instead going to grapple you. As the undead charges you, it grabs your sword arm and pulls it up before grabbing your waist and just holding you there. It's basically attempting to knock you prone next turn. And then Dara is going to be 2 attacks against you.
Okay.
Because you're up front. So just regular. Okay. They're both just going to be slam attacks.
Okay.
As they beat into you. This one like clotheslining sort of this rotting fist into the back of your shoulders. And the other one kind of harmlessly attacking your armor.
Okay, so I'm raging, so that's half. So does that make it 3 or 4 on the 7?
We round down.
Down. Okay. I keep getting it confused with Cyberpunk now on everything. So that's minus 4 total. Cool beans.
Okay, Kane, your turn. What do you do?
Are you cut out? What was that?
Your turn.
Oh, okay. Just gonna look at these 2 guys holding these silver swords.
There is a
And
silver sword currently in the wagon in front of you. It's stuck into the wood.
okay. It's like your boss offers to keep one of us alive. Well, I think we offer to keep none of you alive. I'm going to use 2 sorcery points to twin spell Tasha's Mind Whip against both of the 2 guards in front of me.
All right. Go ahead and roll it. What is that?
It is. They need to make a 15 int save.
Oh my god. Is it charmed or frightened? Or just,
It
is it just an int save?
is. It's
Is it-
psychic damage.
Okay, so it's not a charmed or frightened effect.
No,
rolled-
there's no effects.
I rolled wisdom back but it's the same modifier. Okay, so the one directly in front of you grabs his head and starts to scream. Go ahead and roll damage. 12. Okay. The one in front of you, his head explodes. Blood starts leaking from his eyes. He's screaming. Blood oozing from his nose and ears. He shudders and collapses to the ground, and his head is just a mess of blood and ichor. He is dead. This guy, is it half on a successful save?
Half damage.
Okay.
So they take 6.
All right, he's
And
bleeding
they don't
from his
suffer the other
nose.
effects.
Okay.
I used my bonus action and my action. I'm going to back up into the cart a little bit, just 1 square.
All right. The flesh eater ogre's turn.
That's
She's
good.
gonna walk up here. She grabs the horse's like neck as it's dying and whimpering. She lifts it up and brings the entire cart with it. I'd like Kane and Wyndon to make me dexterity saving throws, please.
Wonderful, wonderful.
I kind of, I knew better. I should have got out of the cart.
Dexterity.
Oh, okay.
19.
19.
Nice.
Hey,
Okay,
look at
neither
that.
of you are knocked prone as she pulls the cart up with the horse. I'll just delete. Actually, no, the cart will be here. It's gonna look jank as hell, but hey. She lifts up the horse as it detaches from the reins. She puts its head in her mouth and chomps down. You hear a crack of bone as the head splits from the spine, and she swallows it. You would see her body inflate, her throat bulge like a frog's as this green ichor starts to swell within her body. You think something very bad is going to happen next turn. You think she's going to spew
Uh-oh.
as the horse is dead over him. All right. The cultist's turn. Okay. He is going to step up here as both of you have settled on the ground. He pulls out the similar wand, but it's made of silver. And he's going to point it at you, Kane. And he's going to cast Hold Person on you. So go ahead and make me a Wisdom saving throw.
At 20.
And that 20. You feel this magic overcome you, and you quickly shake it off. He's pointing this wand at you, almost challenging you. As that's the end of his turn. Bobby's turn. Bobby's gonna stand up and he's gonna attack the zombie. Here we go. Just with a longsword.
Kane is intrigued by the attempt at mind games.
All right. The longsword slashes into the undead, lopping off one of its arms. But it seems crippled, but it doesn't feel pain. Okay. Palo's turn.
All right. I have to get out of this grapple first.
Mm-hmm.
So just do. Is it strength or athletics for?
It's
What is it?
athletics or acrobatics.
All right. Oh wait, yeah, acrobatics.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'll just do that. That's a bad roll.
All right. You fail as you're trapped in its arms.
Yeah. Before the turn ends, I'm just like, oh, you son of a bitch, get off me!
All right.
I'm just like struggling.
Dara, you see the lumbering creature swelling in front of you.
Okay.
What are you gonna do?
I am going to swipe at the one I hit last time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try and see if I can down it. Let's see if I put it in right. Did I put it in right? I did.
That's a hit.
Hell yeah. So a whole.
You're not. So you didn't roll the dice.
Oh, did it? It was, yeah, it's
No,
an
it
18
didn't.
to hit.
No, the damage.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's wrong. Okay.
Dyson.
So
Roll me a d6 just out of game to keep it moving.
D6. So 5 total. Because I have plus
Okay.
3. And is it still kicking?
So how much damage was that? Sorry.
5 total.
Okay, it is barely alive. Well, like, I mean, it's dead, but like, it's barely standing.
Yeah.
As the necromantic magic is keeping it afloat.
Then since I hit it as a part of that same action, I'm gonna hit it again.
Okay.
Ba-da-doop. So that's 13
That's
to
it.
hit. Okay.
It's dead.
Beautiful.
You cut it down with your claws.
Whop it. Beautiful. So now that I have one less thing to worry about, I am then going to just haul ass and just absorb whatever attacks of opportunities I need to take here.
Okay.
And go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, and back up into this little corner.
Alright, so the zombie first. Does that hit?
Just barely hits, yeah.
Okay. It's gonna, instead of dealing damage, it's gonna choose to grapple you.
Oh, that little
So
turd.
you
Okay.
stop here as it grabs you by sort of the back of your coat and your hair and tries to pull you down.
I hate these things.
And this big ogre is going to make a swipe against you.
Okay.
Ooh,
Oh,
right.
Yeah, that hits. So
Okay.
13 halved would be 6.
Yes.
Because that's slashing. Yeah, so that's halved. Cool.
All right. It carves into your back. This one hurts, even through your rage, as you stumble forward a little bit, held in place by the undead. Is that your turn? I think that is your turn.
Oh, I could technically
Think it's
bonus
good.
action hit again. It's just I don't get any bonuses to it.
Okay.
So why not? Why not? You know, I'll just swipe at this guy's hands. And still claws. That's all I got out.
I hit.
23. And it's just a straight D6. It's not gonna be any bonuses. But it's a 6. Hell yeah.
All right.
And I'm just
So
like,
go ahead and add that. You tear into what would have been like veins and flesh. Would have been a deadly blow for anyone else, but the zombie just stands there.
cool. That's it.
All right. The cultist's turn. So this guy over here is in a lot of pain, but he is going to attack you, Palo, as you're currently being grappled. Kind of
All
taking
right.
his opportunity when he can. He's going to attack you with his... Actually, no. Go ahead and make me a Constitution saving throw, please. As he points this snake wand at you, and he's going to cast Poison Spray.
Oh!
Oh, that's the thing. You take 9 points of poison damage. As you feel your lungs fill with this poisonous air, you cough and snot starts pouring out of your nose as if you're having like a hay fever-like reaction. It is terrible. There's only one of them.
Damn.
All right, Wyndon, your turn.
Okay, so Wyndon's gonna move down to here. Not really go anywhere else, I guess. But he wants... So, as we kind of talked about before, it's not magically inclined, so the spells work the same mechanically, but he's just gonna... It's gonna be flavored differently, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Essentially what he does is he pulls out of his pack it's a flask of this orange liquid, and he's going to use a cantrip firebolt, essentially. So mechanically it's just going to be firebolt on this guy here, the dickhead over there. So I need to... Let's see this. And it's
Hit.
actually 15 to hit
Yeah,
because
okay.
of a thing. And I don't think there's any bonuses to that, damage wise.
Dice.
Just straight up.
Just raw.
Okay, there's good
Okay,
damage though. You've got
so-
7 on a
yeah.
d10. It strikes him in the
7.
chest, this kind of piecemeal armor barely staying together. He stumbles back, but the armor absorbs most of the blow as he spits on the ground and says, "The snake god will have your head," as he points his sword at you. You think you're gonna get it next turn.
He just kind of looks and is just like, okay. And for a bonus action, he's gonna healing word on Pello.
Okay.
So that's... Will it roll that too?
Yep, just go ahead.
Oh, nice.
Nice. So you heal.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So you get 3 back.
3's better than none.
Yes.
Alright. The undead's turn. Palo, I would like you to make me a athletics check or acrobatics check with disadvantage, as the zombie is going to use its action to shove you, and
No.
it has advantage because you're being grappled by it.
8.
It is going to make an athletics check. 9. It just beats you. It pushes you to the ground, and it's now on top of you, biting and clawing at you. And the cultist draws his sword again and is gonna go for you, go for your throat, as you're now completely exposed. Okay, that's that zombie's turn. That was his action. One attack against the Bobby. That was only 2 damage. Okay. Bobby kind of deflects it with the sword and fingers go flying. And one attack against you, Dara. That misses.
Beautiful.
Just a 13 to hit. Okay. Alright. Kane, it's your turn.
I look at this cultist guy in the back, and then in his mind he just hears, "I've been offered to the snake god once. I will not be offered again." And I cast Dissonant Whispers.
Okay, go ahead and cast it for me in the Roll20, please. Let me read it. What save is it?
Let me see if it's even in there. It's a wisdom save of 15. Sorry.
Okay. Is it a charmed or frightened effect?
This is... Doesn't it usually say it? How do I cast it in Roll20? I see it in my list.
You just click on it.
Yep.
Is it
Unless that was
happening?
one of
I'm
them
clicking
that-
on it. That's one of them that wasn't in there.
Ah, you're in edit mode as well. Dissonant Whispers.
Oh. Oh, yeah. There's nothing there.
Yeah, unfortunately it's not in the Roll20.
You whisper a discordant melody that only the creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far away as possible.
Nice.
Alright. Yeah, his wisdom's terrible. Yeah, okay. So he must immediately use his movement as he screams and holds his head. Roll me 3d6, he failed to save. 10. 10 is really good. Right. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Okay.
Okay, and that was at first level. Alright. My bonus action was to make the telepathic link to him and say that in his mind, so he can also speak back to me.
Okay. Is the link established now?
Yes, it's established for, in this case, since it's in a battle, 30 turns.
Alright.
And it lasts up to like 5 miles away, I think. 4 miles away.
Damn,
Okay.
that's awesome.
The Flesh Eater Ogre's turn.
This is good.
Her body bulges out, and you hear, "Can't hold it in anymore."
Hold it in, hold it in, hold it in, hold it in.
Out a line of acid at you, Dara. Go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
And she's gonna purge all over you. Oh, 15. So you take half. You take,
Okay.
what is 18 half?
9?
9.
Nine.
You take 9 points of acid damage, but you are covered in vomit. You barely manage to move out the way. You lift up your cloak and pivot.
I'm like,
you use the zombie as a human shield. So, like, basically your sort of cloak and your back of your pants are covered in this disgusting green bile. The zombie also has to make a save. She doesn't care about the zombies, so he's going to make a dex save. Yeah, he's dead. The zombie just dissolves. It would scream if it was a person. It collapses to the ground. You hear the sizzling, and the smell is the worst smell you have ever smelled in your entire life. Close between burning shoes and dead bodies.
Oh.
Oof.
I'm probably
like
gonna
Vegemite.
regret asking this. But do I have any sort of disadvantage to Dex because I was grappled? I don't remember.
I would say no for
Okay.
now. I didn't know the roll off the top of my head, so I'm not
Okay.
going to enforce it. I shall Google it.
And I guess if it killed the zombie first, then
Yeah,
he
it took
probably
my
wasn't
damage
grappling
too.
you anymore.
Yeah, that would make
Like a
sense.
quarter of a second.
Yeah, I'm like, huh? Oh, thank God. Okay.
Yeah, you find if you grappled,
Okay, cool.
regardless. So, that's its turn. It's gonna stomp on the ground and move over here. You hear Bobby say, "Oh, bloody hell! What is that thing?" As that's his turn. The cultist's turn. He's gonna
When
point.
it's, can I have my crowbar back?
I'm just standing
Uh,
there like Ron Weasley when the troll bogies. I'm like, I don't like this.
The leader is gonna cast Shield of Faith on the ogre. As you see this large green serpent wrap around its sort of neck and encases his body in a glowing shield. And then he's going to rush over here. And he's going to cast Sacred Flame on you, Wyndon. Oh my god, make a dex save. That is an 8 points of damage. You fail, you take 8 points of damage.
Okay. Oh.
Okay. Bobby's turn. He's going to use his action to disengage over here. Moving, sort of pivoting behind this undead. Palo, it's your turn.
All right. Trying again.
You can make attacks while grappled. Just keep that in mind. And you don't. You have a negative now because you're prone,
Yeah.
but it's not restrained. It's just grappled.
Oh, you haven't. Okay. I'm used to. I am used to being grappled and then immediately restrained.
So yeah, you would see the cultist to your right does look incredibly weak as well. He's been bleeding constantly.
What do you call it? Can I use spells on the ground? Right?
Yeah, you can.
All right. Obviously, as long as they don't require anything complex.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna like look over at this cultist and just like kind of like struggle to turn my head because the zombie's just like trying to fucking gnaw at me, and then just right under his feet, you just see like a skeletal hand reach up, and I'm just gonna chill touch or try to chill touch.
You would have disadvantage.
Yeah.
That's an 18.
Oh.
Okay.
An 18.
We'll take the first damage roll. It's only fair. Okay. The chill touch, it grabs him by the foot as he can't defend himself. His entire body starts to wither, and his leg looks like it's grown frostbite as the ankle and heel snap and he collapses over, shuddering on the ground. He's not like dead, but he's sure as hell out of action. I'll put it like a bloody thing, and then I'll put an X so all of you remember, as he's sort of screaming in there. Okay. You're still prone, unfortunately.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's my whole thing. I don't got any bonus to do.
All right. At the start of your turn, Dara, you hear something off in the forest. The sound of seemingly female, this very high-pitched screaming, seems to be someone in pain off in the distance that has now joined the cacophony of this terrible battle. It's currently north, as you're sort of closest here. That's why you hear it. You would hear like someone's being assaulted or accosted off in the distance. And if you weren't already engaged in a life or death battle, it would be very haunting.
Okay.
It's your turn. It's currently too far for you to do anything right now.
Okay.
But it is happening.
Remind me, you talked about the serpenty shield thing. Who did that go on to?
The ogre. The
That's
big
what I thought.
fat lady. That's what I'm
Huh. don't like that. I feel like it's going to make it harder for me to hit it.
It does.
Am I considered, do you use flanking if I kind of scoot over to be opposite of Kane?
No, I don't use flanking.
Okay. You know what? She's in a fucking rage. She's still just gonna hit at this thing, even with these glowies. She doesn't know the difference. And she's going to reckless, so I'm gonna do it at advantage. And she's still just hitting with her claws. Maybe.
That hits.
Nice. I fixed my thing. So it's 8 slashing
Very
damage.
Are you adding the rage once?
Oh
Plus
my
2 from
god, I haven't been adding rage the whole time. I'm an idiot.
10.
10 damage.
We'll just do it now.
Sash.
Roll you with the dice.
Yeah. Look, I haven't played a barbarian in like 10 years. It's been a
It's
while.
fine. That's our
And then
expectations here.
yeah. So since I hit, I'm gonna, as a part of that same action, hit again since my claws are cool. Ooh, don't do
Miss.
that one.
Oh no, you have advantage, so roll again.
Oh yeah. Oh, that does.
Until the end of your turn.
That's right. I always think
Okay.
it's the first. So then 8, because plus 2 for rage.
8.
Then you know what? Why not? I'm in a freaking frenzy. I'm a bonus action. Slap at him again with my other claw. I keep. Oh no, not bite. I'm sorry. My thing moved. Ooh shit.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll take the first damage
Yeah.
roll.
Yeah, because they both would have hit. 'Cause
A
that's
14 does hit. It doesn't have any armor on. You just slice into its flesh. This kind of disgusting green ooze spurts out where its blood would be.
The damage, because you're taking the 7, it would be 4. It would only be 6 because I don't get to add my bonus or my plus 3 because it's a bonus action attack. But I still get my rage.
Don't worry. All right.
And yeah, I'm just growling and slashing at it. Nah, if both those things are dead by me, I'm chill.
Okay.
By the way, John, I have a question.
Yes.
Did I technically reduce the guy next to me? I technically reduced him to 0?
You did.
Okay, I get
Temporary.
yeah, get temporary. Yeah.
All right. What does that look like? Or is it very ephemeral and no one really notices?
You kind of just see like somewhat of like a dark and pale like stream of like fire just enter into like my being for about a split second. That's it.
Okay. As you absorb this strange, almost hellish magic, you would hear a voice in your head. A soft voice that would just say, well, continue with the good work. Make sure they can't stand against the tide of time. As the voice fades.
Thank you, sir. Just kind of smile a bit. There you go. Oh, yeah.
Wyndon, it's your turn.
Wyndon's taking a big wind.
Joe? You muted.
Yeah. I was also thinking. Sorry, I had a idea, but
Go ahead.
I'm gonna do this instead. I'm gonna do the same thing at the cultist bastard who just burned me. Throw another orange fluid-filled orb at him.
Oh my god, that is
Very
a
nice.
10. Alright, you
August.
headshot him with the flask. His head goes back and his mask cracks and falls off his face, revealing a very unremarkable man. Middle-aged, Caucasian dude, like sun-cracked skin, now wet with blood and dry where the mask was. He still has snake eyes, but he's definitely not intimidating anymore without the mask. If he was intimidating in the first place.
Wyndon's like, I want that mask.
All right. Is it your turn?
Yes.
Okay. The final zombie. You're still prone, Palo, and it still has you grappled, so it's going to make an attack against you with advantage.
All right.
Okay. 12. I think that misses.
Then you have advantage.
He does.
Oh, yeah, that rolls with advantage. My bad. I always forget that you can.
How do you do that, by the way? I saw you
It-
rolling at advantage
Up in
and
the top
disadvantage. I've just been
right.
clicking it twice.
Yeah.
Like right above the personality traits. There's normal
like little
advantage,
tabs,
disadvantage.
right?
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I always forget that.
So
But yeah.
this undead slams its wrist and floppy hand into the mud, and you hear its wrist snap as it misses and strikes the ground, but it is entirely unfazed. And I forgot about this undead here. He's still hanging out. He's
Jim?
very weak. He only has one arm, as he's going to move over here and he's going to make an attack against you, Kane. He doesn't have advantage, that's my bad. That is still a 21 for 7 points of bludgeoning damage. As he catches you in the stomach with an absolute haymaker, and you manage to push him off. Okay. It's now your turn, Kane.
Let's focus on this big thing. Why don't we? I'm gonna cast sleep.
On who?
I will click it. I just had it. Did that not go to the chat like it was supposed to? Oh, spell level. First level sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
I
against
roll
the
5d8.
ogres, right?
It's against it starts off with the lowest, anyone within 20 feet of me, it starts off with the
Okay.
lowest hit point creature, and you basically start removing from their hit points with that number at the bottom there, 25.
Okay, so this is the targeting circle for sleep. You have control over it. Put it where you want it to be. And keep in mind it also affects your friends.
Does it?
Yep, it's indiscriminate. So go ahead, put it where you want.
I will put it here.
All right. So, unfortunately, you can't put a zombie to sleep. However, the
Oh,
cultist leader collapses, completely unconscious, as he is currently fast asleep.
Wendigo, grab your mask. Bonus
Anything else?
action. Bonus action, nothing.
All right. You would all hear now this screaming is carried on with the wind. Seemingly someone or something is in peril, off into the swamps. If you truly believe that it's a true scream, that is. The Uga, she is going to look down at you, Dara, and sort of speaks with the broken nose and rattly old teeth. She's going to make a claw attack against you with advantage, because you reckless attacked last turn.
Yep.
She slashes down. You backstep, but it wings sort of the top parts of your hands and claws. She smiles, leering at you. Brecca's gonna want to have a word with you, girl. As she steps back and gets ready to claw you again. You have no idea what she's talking about. The cultist is asleep. Bobby's turn. He's gonna attack this undead over here. That's a hit. Bobby slams the sword into the back of its neck. Palo, it's your turn.
All
What are you
right.
doing?
I'm gonna look over at Big Mama,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just gonna you know what? I'm gonna Hellish Rebuke, level 2
So I'm
on.
pretty sure Hellish Rebuke can
Alright.
only be triggered when you take damage.
Is it?
The
Yeah, it's a
reaction.
Oh, it damaged you. Okay, I read
Mhm.
that.
Yeah.
I only read damage. I was like, okay, maybe I could use it. All right, that was my bad. Then you know what? Scorching Ray.
Keep
Right?
in mind, you do have disadvantage because there is an undead within 5 feet of you.
That is fine with me.
Alright. Against you, the big lady?
Yeah,
Alright. Go ahead
I'm
and
a
be reflex.
I'm a gambler.
That's a miss.
All right, that's fine. All right.
2 more.
Ooh.
That's a hit.
All right. That's a miss.
That's a miss. Yeah,
That's fine though.
unfortunately.
I'll
So,
take
yeah,
damage.
one of the bolts strikes sort of on her knee and she drops down. But the rest of the bolts go wide. She kind of blocks them with her hands and they get just dissipate in the air.
There you go. As the one hits her, I'm just be like, I am way easier to deal with. Should come over here. I just smile.
Yeah, you really should.
Her like disgusting pink slug in her mouth wriggles against the grey teeth. Such childish taunts, boy. You really think I'm that stupid? I'm a lieutenant, you know.
I mean, you look stupid.
She's offended. Dara, it's your turn.
I laugh, but it also kind of sounds like a bark. It's really weird.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna just keep
Who
doing what
is
I'm
it?
doing.
Oh, okay.
ahead.
Cause I'm raging. I'm in a fit of fury, clawing at this bitch. You know, it's doing me well. I'm gonna keep going reckless.
Right.
Ooh.
That's a hit.
Oh, good. Thank God. +2 to that.
Mm-hmm.
Then, since I hit, claws are coming out again. Oh, hell
That's it.
yeah. +2.
Yeesh.
So that's 10. And hey, why not? Bonus. I'll just do it again. And that one's just going to be
That's a hit.
6 total.
All right.
Not 7. 6.
You slash her in her other knee with your claw. She drops down to both. You jam a
Pull
claw into a
tendons.
disgusting gut. You rip it across, like unzipping a suit. Unzipping a zipper, I guess. Her stomach peels outwards, and her organs splay onto the ground as she falls into the mess. She is dead.
Now
Sure,
you
I
look
took that.
kind
You
of
like
stupid.
1v1'd.
All right.
More or less.
You stand over her corpse. All you see is Dara now.
Like holding
Um,
organs. Kind of have a snoot
Anything
going.
else? Anything else you wanna
I
do?
guess I'll just move around. Because they still have that one zombie, that one guy's asleep, that zombie. So yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. I'll just get up to this dude ready for next time.
All right.
I have a
Uh,
question that sounds stupid
Mm-hmm.
and has totally nothing to do with like anything that's happening now because she's already gone. But if Taylor were to move over her, would she be difficult terrain?
And yeah.
Yeah, I figured she's too big to walk on. I don't know, I could go on all
Disgusting
fours.
terrain.
I know, I just thought of that.
So, Joe, your turn.
So I had a question about the sleep stuff.
Mhm.
If I attack him, does he wake up?
Yep.
Okay,
Yes.
that's kind of thought it was Final Fantasy rules.
I think it's
To sleep
just
for
normal
10
rules.
rounds.
Beautiful.
Mhm.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is stay right the fuck where I'm at. And I'm gonna take out another flask of orange liquid, and I want to attack this zombie that's next to Kane.
Okay, go ahead.
Let's do that. Boop, 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 stop.
That's a
So it's actually 7, but
it's still a miss, unfortunately.
okay. All good. Cantrip. It's fine.
You know what? I'll say there's only 2 zombies left. I'd say you all deal with them quite handily, splaying the corpses onto the ground. The question is, what do you do with the sleeping guy?
I'm gonna go over there and search him before he wakes up as quickly as possible.
I tie
Okay.
him up.
I was planning on just bum rushing past the 2 zombies, but yeah, that was my main plan. We don't have to tie him up.
So, what are you all gonna do with him as a group? You gonna kill him? You gonna?
I'm not one to talk, but maybe he'll know what's going on in Heartshome. Also, I don't know how truthful those screams are, but someone else seems to be in trouble.
2 things that that Wyndon was gonna do. One, take a sample of that I guess ogre, the blood, and just put it away, and then take one of the wands off the other guys.
Okay. I'll say you, Kane, you walk up to him and start looting him whilst he's unconscious.
Do I recognize him?
No, he literally looks like just some guy. You would find on him his silver scimitar, his wand, which is silver itself, his cloak, his cracked mask. You would find in sort of his breast pocket this kind of strange looking like piece of paper with a weird symbol on it that you don't recognize. It looks like a seal of the house, but it's definitely foreign. It's nothing you recognize from here. It's kind of vague, and you kind of unsure what it is.
I'll take all that. Well, I won't take the mask or the cloak or anything, but I'll take the wand. I won't take the scimitar, and I'll take that note. And then I'll slap him awake.
All right. One more thing before
Okay.
you do. You find his gold. You would check it, and you would realize that it's not minted for this country. It's someone else's coin from a foreign land.
Okay.
Like very foreign, or maybe the country's like right above us, or would we? I mean, I would only know
don't know.
broad.
I
or
definitely would not know.
I would only know the
news
middle
doesn't
country.
travel very well in the medieval world, so
Yeah.
you're not sure.
I will take his scimitar.
Okay. And
Okay,
you
you're not
grab
leaving a
the
weapon.
wands, Wyndon, and I'll say you get a vial of acid from the ogre. So put that in. Palo, you doing anything?
Yeah, I was gonna do 2 things. Just gonna check on the, I guess not much of a state anymore, because they got thrown to the fucking wayside, but the wagon, I guess. And I'm just gonna see if I can just like make sure that like just do a walk around the perimeter and just like make sure no one's like hiding out, anything like that.
So you look at the cart. The cart seems all right. It's got a couple of cracks in it, and one of the spurs on the wheel is broken. But if you would get it unstuck from the mud, you're golden. Problem is, there's no horse to pull it. All if you could pull it together, because you're all strong. Well, most of you are strong, at least. Some of you are strong. I'm getting lower and lower every time.
So Dara's strong.
I have a +1.
That's good enough. And yeah, you wouldn't see anyone around, but you would hear this harrowing screaming. It's being muffled every once in a while. You think they're being assaulted. It's being stopped and then started again. And you don't see anyone in your vicinity. You would see, basically up north, there would be some tracks where the ogre came from, going up north. And
No, I was gonna like turn and ask Bobby, is that way towards Heartshome?
no, it's down the road. Bobby clearly looks very shook at the battle that's just unfolded.
Alright.
Yes.
I guess that's
So,
an alright sign, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, unless we want to go off the beaten track to help someone in need. You know, I'm not against helping people, but bloody hell.
I don't really think we got time.
Hey, man, the decision's all yours. I'll stay with the car. I ain't muddling myself with any more of this shit.
I have another question.
Mm-hmm.
So you said there was the dragon skull over there?
Yeah.
Right, with the crystal coming out?
Mm-hmm.
Would I know a way to take some of the crystal?
Yeah, you would be able to.
Okay, I want to do that.
So you would basically just carve it off and crack it off, basically.
Okay, I didn't know if it would explode if I did that or something. Okay.
You kind of know how to work these things. You're competent. And as sort of you slap this cultist away, can we take like a 5-minute break?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I need to go use the bathroom and
Yeah, we're
get a
right
refill and
about
stuff
that
like
half-ish mark, so that's perfect.
Right.
Yes, we will be
I'll
back.
be right back.
5 or 10ish minutes. Everyone, see you soon. Patty. We back. I think everyone's
Back.
unmuted.
Oh,
Yes.
hello.
Hi.
Mm-hmm.
Hello. So, picking back up where we left off, your hand impacts this cultist, you would think's face. The slap is wet, bloody with the rainwater and the mud, and he coughs awake and goes for his sword that isn't there and scrambles backwards in
I'm just
the mud.
standing over him, like holding it. Like,
Looks up at all of you, trying to hide the fear in his eyes. He looks around at all the corpses around him. I guess you do leave one alive.
learn from you.
That was a. Yeah.
In his head, he just hears, "For now, for now."
He just stares.
Take
at you
off
all
my, I
and
take off
stares.
my mask, and he sees my somewhat normal face with a looks like a weird looking tadpole that tried to climb out of my forehead and got stuck. It's just kind of sitting there. It's
I'm never
disgusting.
gonna get used to that.
Oh no.
Oh.
Where are you from? What?
Your interrogation's not going to do anything for me. I think you all already know that.
I pounce on him and put like one hand just like, I mean, I'm not raging anymore, but I still have sharp as fuck nails. And then the other with his scimitar like up to his throat and just like make him look at Kane.
I mean, it doesn't have to be an interrogation. You can more think of it as a conversation.
Or I
Yeah.
could kill you.
Whatever's easier.
What guarantee do I have that you won't kill me anyway?
Can I intimidate him?
How?
I'm just gonna like crouch down next to him and just say, "Who said anything about killing?" That's way too easy.
I would like you.
A giggle in his mind.
Halo, make me an intimidation check with advantage. Because of everyone's contributing. Teamwork scare tactics.
Just for players meta, this will always have to be the thing because I cannot actually intimidate, even though I'm fucking terrifying. I have a negative to intimidation, so
I have the plus
Wait,
7.
I'll be the advantage.
So, he looks at you. He doesn't say anything. Ask your questions and be gone with you.
All right. Wait. Did anyone else see the gold, or was it just Kane?
I mean, he was the one who looted him,
Yeah.
so it was only him. And if he didn't tell anyone, then only he knows.
Yeah. So,
I didn't. I didn't.
So you
I
want-
was gonna discuss his letter.
Oh.
If he would answer our questions.
Yeah. Go ahead, my friend.
What? Were you following us, or was this just happenstance?
You're not the first, but it seems you are the last.
We were to be sacrifices?
You could call it that. One of you might have lived to join our ranks.
Who's Wrecker?
You're
He kind of shrugs. We do not enjoy working together with that filth. That half-bare scumbag. He doesn't share our ideals. It's a convenient relationship, to say the least. He has hideous, fat creatures to work for him and kill for him. That's something we might lack for now.
And
When you
and
say
there's-
we,
yeah, that's what I want to get to. What does we mean?
He stops talking.
Can I?
Like dig the scimitar in a little.
I'm gonna use a sorcery point to subtle spell, and then cast detect thoughts.
Okay.
It's a wisdom saving throw. Looking for my tabs.
Wisdom
Oh, I don't
saving
have that one
throw.
either.
Natural 1.
Oof.
You would hear in your mind Abraxas. And then he starts to shudder and shake, and you feel the pain that he's feeling as you hear this white noise slowly gain pitch as the cultist screams,
I disconnect.
and then he drops
I,
dead.
I end my spell.
His
I didn't hear it.
hideous, screeching face looking up at the rain, caught in a stone moment of fear.
I kind of peered in a little bit into his brain. Said Abraxas.
Did you peer in a little too much? What just happened?
That wasn't me. That wasn't me. It was white, bright light, like white hot. I don't know. I got out just in time. I feel like.
Well, I guess we won't know if he has anything to do with Heartshome, no?
Or this letter coin. Damn.
You would
Wyndham
all-
walks up to him. Oh, sorry. Go
No,
ahead.
You first, please.
So Wyndham walks over, and I just want to state this out of character, that Wyndham's kind of, weird in the sense that he basically just collects things to see how they work with different ingredients, like even people. I mean, it's a wasted resource if not, is his thought process. You said he had like snake eyes,
Yeah.
right? He goes in and just takes his dagger and carefully cuts out one of the eyes and cleans it off and takes it.
Okay. You would all see this rather gruesome display. If anyone has respect for the dead, this man clearly doesn't. You would notice the pupil and the eye itself. It has been perverted from a regular person's eye. It is not that he had snake eyes, it's that his eyes were transformed into that of a snake's. If that makes any sense to you. So his pupil was physically
No, but yes.
like crushed by magic and elongated, and you know,
I'm like,
it was clearly not a pretty thing to have happened to him.
Right.
I guess
Well,
while that's
I
happening,
can't examine it.
yeah, I just kind of
Sorry.
look and I'm like, okay. And I stand up and I just walk over and yank that javelin out of the horse and I start walking towards where the screaming's happening.
By now, the scream would have stopped. Seems the interrogation was taking up time, that the last moments that woman had. You can safely assume that she's dead.
Well, as he puts the eyeball and just wraps it, puts it in his bag, like, what should we do then?
Walk. That's what I think. We got to get out of this rain. And if they have any more of these creatures lurking around, well, the corpse collectors will be here soon to eat it all. Don't want to be around when they show up.
I think that's a good idea. I cast light on the tip of my quarterstaff
Okay.
and just hold it.
All of you
Just
gather
just a
around.
little cantrip.
All of you gather around the light as it's the only source of light now in this dark swamp. Bobby looks around and moves to the front of the pack and checks which road. Oh. Let's hope this is the right way, eh? Can't seem to see
Also,
it.
sorry if being annoying. When I was over at the Dragon Skull, could I also have dislodged one of its teeth?
Sure.
Okay.
So yeah, you would have one, probably the biggest one, like the size of a dagger. Bobby would start going down a road. All of you would follow. No cart, no horse, just you in the wilderness. You follow the road the best you can. You can barely see the edges anymore. Everything is sort of blended together in this mountainous pile of confusion and rain. It feels like you're walking through a canyon, thick walls on either side. To travel into the forest is to surely die. You would eventually see off in the distance a single spark of, some would call it hope, a smoke trail that disappears into the clouds. You are slowly walking up a hill. You're tired, wet. You smell horrendous, covered in blood of both yourself and others. You reach the top of the hill. You look down and see the village of Heartshome. I have a map
Oh boy.
that I made myself.
Hey.
No stealeroni here.
There it goes.
I think if you go to like the combat slide, right, you can show people.
Mm-hmm.
what
Yep.
it looks like.
Yep. I should be on it as much as I can on my screen.
Yeah.
All
I
of
see
you
it.
would approach from the south, down here. I used our as group token. You walk down an old path, now overgrown. Seems to have not been tread in a while. You walk past a group of non-swamp-like trees. It's actually quite nice. Tall, standing. These ones don't have as many barbs or thorns on them. To the right, you would see a rice field, completely flooded, absolutely unusable at this point. But you know, it used to be workable. As you come closer and closer to this ramshackle wall, broken in places and hewn from the corpses of houses, you would see the village itself is in ruins. Holes in buildings. People nowhere to be seen. The wall itself is rotten to the core and vaguely just a sheet to be wielded for cover rather than a wall to keep creatures out. But you would notice a singular hut on the edge of the rice field, completely untouched. You would see a man out in the garden, large, maybe about 6'5" from this distance in the rain. You see he has a large hood and cloak on that obfuscates his build, but he has this monstrous beard that stretches down to his chest, coated in rain. His hair dangles over his face and makes him look like a swamp creature of some sorts. He looks at you, locks eyes with you, Caden. Maybe just coincidence, you think. Staring at you. He pulls the shovel out of the ground, leaves the grave undug, and walks back into his home.
How
would
far
see-
away was he when he locked eyes with me?
Maybe a good, like, I would say like 100 feet. Like, it's not something you can just go over to, but he was
Yeah.
there.
We all saw him.
You all saw him, yeah. As Bobby kind of gives a glance over, as you all see it, well, that's Brannigan. Wouldn't worry about him. Yeah, he's some weird old dude. Him and his daughter's living there. Some sort of scholar. Although he doesn't really do much. It's
How
been a
old
while
is he?
since- I mean, he was 50 when I left. And I'm, what, fucking 40 something winters now. So the guy's old. He's
Huh.
getting on. Yeah, I haven't been here in a
But-
while.
I wonder what he was digging.
Yeah. I wouldn't go ask him. I don't know. I mean, do whatever the hell you want, right? I'm not your boss. Not anymore.
Oh, you give useful advice.
Bobby, where is everyone?
That's what I was wondering as well.
Hmm.
Let's head in and see what it's about.
Also, is this normal? And I point towards like the walls.
We didn't have a wall the last time I was here. So that's new. It looks like shit. Whoever made it should be... Well, we should be reimbursed, that's for sure.
I mean, it's pouring rain. Maybe they're all inside.
We should still
That
go
might
in
be.
quiet.
All right.
Oh, if we get to do stealth, this is the first character I've had in so long that doesn't have disadvantage. God.
So I'm assuming you extinguished the light if you're going to stealth. Okay. So
If
you would have
y'all
been
would
able to
like
give a
to-
distance. So are you all going to sneak? Or
I'm at least going to
Bobby
stick in the
seems very-
shadows.
Okay. Bobby doesn't seem to understand the concept, at least as of now. He just wants to walk into his home.
I'll stay close to Bobby.
Okay. So the rest of you sort of stick to the shadows, moving sort of up against the wall where no one can see you, just in case.
Yeah.
You, Palo, and Bobby would see a lone figure stood in the gap between the fences, the biggest gap in the wall. A figure stood there with this large black cloak in the rain, just standing there. You would see the errant glimmer of plate mail underneath his cloak. He stood with a great sword in the dirt, just waiting.
Uh,
Sorry, go on.
no, I was just gonna. I guess as we get closer, just kind of not shout out, but be like, sir, and or madam, and or figure. I don't really know.
He raises his sword up, puts it on his shoulder, ready for battle, more than he was before. Strangers, who goes there?
Hello, Fiero, at your service. We were just making our way on to, Heartshome. This is Bobby. He's been here before, I guess. I don't know history. Is everything all right here? What?
Hang on. Bobby. He points a finger in the rain. His hand is covered in armor. Clearly a knight of some sorts as he raises his cloak a little bit. Yeah, Bobby Tuck? You don't remember me, right? You do remember me, right? I hope. The figure, places his sword on against the wall. Bobby! It's been so long! He walks up quite brazenly. As Bobby kind of squints through the rain. Gerard? Oh, he runs up and they both embrace. The taller of, well, I will tell you now, our siblings, kisses him on the forehead and sort of takes off this helmet and kisses him on the forehead and gives him a hug. He pats his brother on the shoulder and looks at you, Palo. My name is Sir Gerard Tuck. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, Gerard, it's a pleasure to meet you and get your brother back here.
Well, if you were a helping hand in my brother's safe return, then you are a friend of mine, and a friend of the town. As you see, in the houses next to the wall, maybe about 20 people come out of hiding, all wielding crossbows, dressed in militia armor. You did not see them before. You think you were in a kill box without even knowing it.
God damn. That is a lot of the Jesus, just firepower. What have you guys been dealing with here?
It's not nearly enough, unfortunately. Come inside. We'll talk more of the swallowtail.
All right. I guess as
we step out of the shadows.
Yeah, I was like, guys. And I just like wave out to everyone else who's in hiding.
Sir Gerard looks surprised as the rest of the militia kind of bare arms, and he raises a hand.
Sorry, we thought something was more malicious here.
Quite all right. We're just jumpy is all.
Same here.
Come inside, quickly.
Yeah, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of this rain.
Yeah,
follows.
You would walk past the militia, many old and young, all wielding spears and weapons. You would notice they're all of varying ages, varying genders, varying races. Basically hell-bent on protecting their town, their village, from whatever lurks outside. They look haggard, tired, maybe haven't slept in a few days each. They are not a elite army, to be sure. As the rest of you follow. You would see Gerard look out towards the hut. You didn't happen to see Brannigan, did you?
Yeah. We did.
All right. Just have to make sure.
I don't know if he liked me. He looked at me and went inside.
Brannigan doesn't like anyone, apart from his daughters.
Oh, that's good. I mean, good for me.
Well, very well. He kind of looks a bit awkward. He doesn't really know what to say, and just nods. We should head to the Swallowtail. He looks back, and he calls for someone, puts them in charge, and leaves. You wouldn't have happened to see anyone in the woods or surroundings?
I just like pull my jacket off of me that's just covered in like troll acid.
I meant more emotions to the town.
No.
More of our people.
Well,
No.
we heard someone. For a little bit, anyways.
He suddenly looks very crestfallen, but steals it like a soldier should, or would. Very well. We had a incident a few days ago. Our religious leader took a bunch of people and left into the swamp. He took a lot of our food and soldiers with them. I can
Did,
only assume now that there were no survivors.
can I ask a question?
Feel free.
It's not anything to do with, like, snakes, right?
What do you mean?
We ran into some soldiers and what looked to be like a cult leader. And, you know, you do the math. They're here. They were over there, but now they're not because they're dead. And we're here.
By
I
your
don't
hand,
know.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Good. They deserve it. I know not of snakes or what you speak of, but something bad has been happening recently. We've been attacked on all sides. Ogres and goblins and hideous creatures. Our church has been completely obliterated. Now, refuge of a strange group of people we know nothing about. In the forest lurks beasts, hell-bent on seeing our destruction. All we can do now is sit here, hopefully survive. Or maybe just live a few more days.
I guess every day is another day till your end. But it just means there's more work to be done, I guess. For us, at least.
Every day is a blessing, even if you
Mhm.
do have to live it in squalor.
How long have things been bad?
They started maybe a few months ago. He would move into sort of the porch area of the tavern that stood in front of the door, as you all now sheltered from the rain. A few months ago now, the first fighting started. Firstly, our farmers were murdered in the fields. No matter how many people we put out there, the working folk would always be killed. Be it from hell raining from the sky, I could only assume siege equipment. Maybe a catapult of some sort. Goblins lurking in the fields and the forests would kill them with bows and arrows from a distance, and then come in, chase the guards away, and burn the fields. They made sure we didn't have any food. Then, a few weeks ago, they assaulted us for the first time fully. That's when we built the wall. We lost a lot of people. We're looking at about a third of our old population. I have seen war before. This is that. This is just another war.
A war for
fighting.
what, though, I guess?
For our extinction, I assume.
Have these monsters always lurked in these woods, or are they new?
They're not new, but they're
Unified.
banded together. Indeed.
Cutting off your resources, that's a ruthless tactic. I don't think most of these monsters would have the mental ability to think of that idea.
Well, such is the thing. They must have a leader, an intelligent creature,
Wrecker?
someone to lead them. I don't know the name. If
The
that is
large
the case.
troll said he'd be interested in meeting me before I killed her.
You
She
folk
was a
know a lot.
lieutenant. He must be the head. They must be the head.
You should all come inside. It's quite clear that you know a lot more than we do. Please, tell us it over drinks. As he
I
opens
have
the
a
door,
few things for you to look at as well. First,
I'd be-
drinks.
I'd be more than willing to. He'd open the tavern. You would see inside a bunch of very quiet people, as if waiting for the next attack. There's no peace in here, there's only silence. Everyone's just staring at each other. You hear the rustling of glasses and the slurping of food and the rolling of die, but that's about it. Everyone looks up at you and stares at you as you walk in. Gerard puts up a hand and announces, "They're with us now. Treat them as family." His is the voice that echoes out loudest amongst them all. Take a seat. Annie will be with you. He takes a seat down and motions to sort of the owner of the bar, you think. This nice inn. The Swallowtail is kind of a ramshackle little home. Quite big. 2 stories. Beds and breakfast, you think, once served here. Now, just a ramshackle place for people to lie low. There's really nothing special about it. Just another tavern in another village. You would see this older looking woman, maybe about 40. Dark skin. This dark braid that's a mohawk and then curls outwards into a braid that goes down her back. She sat there polishing a glass and sort of walks over to you kind of matter-of-factly. So, 1 drink for each of you. Pick wisely. We don't usually serve drinks to people that don't fight.
I'm just covered in blood, like.
Don't fight for us.
Water for me.
I don't need
We have a
anything.
bit of a lack of that currently.
Ooh.
You drink ale?
If I have to, sure.
Well, you have to.
That's an
Anything
ale
else?
for me too, I guess.
You, fighter lady?
I'm fine.
Alright.
I'm also fine.
Very well. Yes, you'll head off and go make an ale. 2, sorry. You look at the shelves behind her. They're all empty. There are 2 barrels set against the bar. One for ale, the other for ale. You think that these people have drunk their own place dry. There is nothing here. You think they've been suffering the siege for a very long time. And it's quite alarming that they don't even have water. You would see, outside a window, a lake. Just outside. You get your drinks. And Gerard sits down and Bobby joins you. So, anything you need to talk about further? I'll be here whenever you need me. I'll usually be at the southern gate. Is there anything you need before you go to sleep? I don't recommend you stay up any longer.
Yes. Off the cultist, I took this piece of parchment.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is. And he had this, and I hand him the gold as well.
Okay.
Have you seen this?
He stares at it for a long while. You would see the gold piece and the basically like a symbol of a house. It is what looks to be long grains of wheat that are growing up and outwards as a oh my words, like a grasping hand. In the center of the hand is a fist, covered in golden, well, you assume it to be golden rings. I recognize the fist symbol. That's interesting.
What do you recognize it from?
Well, I'm a knight. I went off to Shah Hassan to join the Crusades when it happened. Well, I seen this fist symbol around. the symbol of royalty. I don't know what it's doing here. Maybe the fellow you took it from was not of this land. I can't think of anything else.
What is the?
Oh. I was saying,
What
now
does
that
the
I'm seeing it, do the
paper say?
coins look like, because I was originally from Ryland, 200 years ago. Do I recognize the coins at all, or?
No, they are completely foreign to all of you. Quite literally foreign. He would say that they don't look like the coins that they used to use. These are different. But the fist symbol is pretty ubiquitous with their culture, which basically symbolizes wealth, power, iron grasp on their civilization. Just general things like that.
So
The paper say anything?
No, it's quite literally just a symbol, hewn from wax. It's bizarre that the person would even keep it. It seems like trash, crumpled and folded multiple times. Maybe a souvenir or an old memory. You're not sure.
You
would
said
know
a
this.
symbol?
Sorry?
You said it's a symbol?
Yeah, it's a symbol, the same as on the
Same
coin.
symbol. Okay.
Yep. You would all notice, as you're sat at the table, there's a man watching you, but he's pretending not to watch you. You see a tiefling male, dark black skin, dark black horns, dressed in this very nice three-piece suit. He's got a trilby hat on. The only person in this place that looks like he's put together. Doesn't look like he's fought at all within the last 10 years. He's just watching. Over a drink. Every so often he drinks and looks, and you catch him, and then he looks away. Basically just trying to fake that he's not listening.
I'm just staring at him, unabashedly staring at him, catching his eye every time he looks.
I'm just staring straight ahead.
During
And-
this, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just staring straight ahead. I talk to him telepathically. I say, "Do you wish to introduce yourself?"
You hear back in your head, well, if you'd asked so nicely. And you all see the figure stand up, and he walks over to you and sits down, cracks his fingers, puts his fingers on a steeple on the table. Well, it's a pleasure to meet you all. My name's Smuggler. He takes his glove off, and you see a brand on his hand. You would all recognize it as basically a brand of castigation of exile. These people have their names changed to the crime they committed and are sent out. They have to reveal it whenever they speak. Well, good to meet you all. My name's Smuggler, like I said. Crime, smuggling, obviously, right? Yeah, I was just listening. You all seem like an interesting bunch of people. Just, walking in, covered in blood and bile. With serious, keen looks in your eyes. You look like a bunch of cool people. Sorry if I was staring.
Before he came over, Wyndon had taken the eyeball out on the table, and like a little piece of cloth, and was inspecting it with his thing. Looks up and just nods and goes back to looking at the eye.
Okay. What were you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say I have no context to the mind message. So I'm just here you're welcome to sit here.
Oh.
Did someone call you home?
Thank you very much. He takes a chair and sits down properly now, sort of squidging in his elbows between both of you. Probably between you, Palo, and Gerard. Good evening. Yeah, someone called me over.
It was me.
It was him.
Ah, I will never get used to that.
What did you
Um,
smuggle?
Well, what Avano smuggled, right? He elbows you, Palo.
Do you still smuggle?
Well, not anymore. You know, business has been a little bit slim, considering everyone's getting fucking murdered out in the woods. Can't really go anywhere. The river's full of shit and acid. Literally. And I
Yeah.
can't get a boat out.
Literally acid.
Literally acid.
Does anyone have a map of the village by chance? Anything crudely drawn?
Gerard would have. It would be kind of like a it would be made for tactics basically, so it's very slim.
Yeah.
But he'd hand you one.
All right. I kind of like fold it out and I take out a parchment from my bag and some ink vials, and I just kind of like make like a crude copy of it, and I just mark all of the information we've been given from the crops being burned off and possible goblin stuff, the river with acid, apparently, the direction to where the church is at, roughly, if that has that marked there.
Gerard would tell you that the church is north. Up here.
All right.
Over the bridge.
And then where we had just come from, I would just put like a mark of like a bandit mark, I guess, and just kind of just get that down and just put it in the center of the table. I'm like, is there any more things we should know about here that's dangerous and need to be dealt with?
I don't know. Well, I mean, there's a lot of stuff, big problems in the town, you know. I mean, as far as I know, you can't just go out and go deal with it, right? Gerard clears his throat. I don't think you should be the one talking about this. Oh, no, it's alright. I understand what's going on. Right. This place is fucked. I recommend you all get out when you can. If you are getting out of it, would you take me with you?
No.
I'll pay you. What? Even for money?
Our money.
I mean,
How much?
Got a lot of money. Like 100 gold, maybe?
Can you hold a weapon?
I can hold one, yeah, sure. I've had to defend myself before.
Insight check.
Yeah, sure. I'll say you don't have to roll. He's not lying. He has a rapier on his hip.
Oh, okay. Looks like you could lie pretty easily.
Yeah, you can.
I'm just gonna look at him and I'm gonna say, while I'd love to leave and help you out, I think my priorities, at least, are more what's at hand right now.
All right then.
People seem to be a lot
Anyone
worse
else?
off than you are.
Well, you know, this place is shit. I want to get out of here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
there's a lot of people living in this shit. 100 gold isn't worth saving or leaving
Well,
their lives here.
could I bother you for something else then? You know, it's just a little bit of a thing. It's in the town. You don't have to leave. You just have to help me out with something.
well, go right ahead since you're asking.
Yeah, I am. There's a box that I own. It's mine, not yours. You can't have it. I'll pay you to go get it. It's in the
And-
lake.
The acid
Okay.
lake. The shits
yeah, but
and
like-
acid lake.
Well, the acid ain't that bad, you know. It only burned my boat a little bit.
Ara, how did that feel earlier?
I can tell you it did not feel good at all.
Oh, she's tough. She's fine. Yeah, but like, would you be willing to help? Just a little bit.
If it burns
it's
your
my livelihood.
boat, how can you be sure it still exists and isn't burned up itself?
Well, it's very special. It's very, very special. Given to me by a very rich man. And I want to keep that rich man happy. Or else he'll come over and cut me in places you wouldn't believe.
How sad.
Yeah, for me.
How deep in the lake?
How deep the cuts?
Yeah, well, I mean, how deep does it go, right?
You hear your wind just go.
Yeah, you know, I am not expecting you all to take a dip, right? I mean, maybe if you're really willing to earn your money. You know, it's just a thought. If you can clear out the lake, or if you fix it, or, you know, blockade it, dam it. If you're going down there for a little dip, you know? There's a golden circlet in there, in the chest. And I want it. And I'll pay you for it.
Well, I think we should get rid of the acid first things first.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I guess you got yourself a deal, my friend.
Oh, look at that.
The 100 gold. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
And how
100 gold
about
sounds right for me.
when we decide we finally leave town, we take you with us and earn another 100 gold?
I mean, if you want to do that, sure.
Wonderful.
I wouldn't bow my head to a bunch of bodyguards. I appreciate it. Don't buy the hand that feeds you, I say. Or the hand that protects you. Well, appreciate it. If you ever see it, come talk to me. I'll be here.
All right, what was your name again? Sorry, you were eccentric. I kind of was.
It's all right. It's all right. Smuggler.
Yeah.
It's kind of simple. What's your name?
I thought it was smug asshole. Sorry.
I see where you got that.
He
Seems
stays
nice
silent.
to
He
talk to.
He doesn't really have a retort for that. I kind of like hit him out of nowhere.
Yeah. No, smuggler. It was nice to meet you. Genuinely.
Yeah, all right then.
Jokes aside.
Yeah, it was a good one though. It was a good one. Good bands.
Yeah. You stay safe.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna continue planning and talking for a little bit more. When we clear the acid, I'll let you know.
Aye, aye. I'll be here. Nowhere else. Here's safe.
Smuggler, you seem to... You're nice to talk to, and you know what you want.
Thank you very
We'll
much.
do our best.
You seem to not really be a contribution to this community.
He isn't. You see Gerard say, well, you know, I've contributed in many ways before. You know, like, I got Annie that vial of whiskey once. Alright, I'll go. See you later. He stands up and heads off towards his table, dragging his chair with him very loudly across the floor. Everyone looks and stares at him.
Yeah.
He goes and sits down.
I kind of like I look towards Gerard and I'm like, you think about it like this: we help him sooner, and he gets out of your hair faster. You know.
Well, one less mouth to feed would be useful for us.
Yeah. Also, apparently, if the water is tampered with acid, quicker we get that done. At least maybe some form of water or food can be, procured.
Yeah. We're running out of both, I'm afraid.
Gerard.
You won't last long without water.
Well, that's my next point. Do you have any place that you gather the rainwater?
There's a couple of barrels around, yes. Although it's a bit...
Have you?
well,
have
it's not
you-
great.
I can help you with that, if you would like. Sadly, not at the moment, but I have some ways that I can help with the rainwater and make it clean.
That would be wonderful. Be more than willing to do that. If it can extend or uplift the lives of my people here, just ask.
Okay. I also need to get a sample of the acid in the lake. I need to check something.
Did, do you know, was the acid put there, just appear, come from upriver? Any idea?
Well, I'm not sure. One day, just people started getting sick. The hospital was completely overrun with folk. It happened just like that. Snap and it happened. It's probably put there by someone. It's definitely not naturally occurring. Someone sabotaged it, to be sure.
Where does the
I-
river run? Does it go north?
It goes from the north from the mountains and runs down the south. They have control of the bridge, last I checked. A man that I trust very much, a man named Dimitri. He watches the bridge with a group of our soldiers. Maybe go ask him.
The troll tracks came from up north. The other screaming we heard came from up north. Now possibly acid has come from up north. I think maybe these creatures and their ranks may be calling that base an idea.
It's a good one. I'm not really in the position to exercise a strike as of now, but we'll hold it down here. Feel free to explore as you wish. Regardless, I should be going.
I'm sorry, who runs the bridge?
Dimitri.
Dimitri.
Dimitri,
Thank you.
you recognize him very easily.
Wyndon.
Got a big scar.
Hmm.
Would you step outside with me to the lake?
Mm-hmm. He
So we can
wraps
go
the
look at
eye
it?
back up and puts the eye back up. Stands
Also,
up and does the
Jerome,
thing.
before you go again, the church, is that a no-go for now?
They control the bridge, so you would have to cross the bridge to get to the church. And, well, like your friend there said, boats are a no-go for now.
Alright.
So, the church is a no-go. If you can find your way there and kill every bastard in sight, I would be more than appreciative. We all would be. But I think we have to work our way up beforehand.
Alright.
You all seem capable enough, I'd hate to lose you.
I mean,
I just kind of look
getting
him like
everything.
dead in the eye, and I'm like, I will do everything in my power to get rid of these evil things that are destroying your home.
You know, she said elegantly. Agreed.
He salutes you.
As
Gentleman.
as we're walking away, Wyndon turns around and says, "Also, I'd like to visit the people fallen ill. I think I can help them."
Do what you wish. Everything's open for all of you. Thank you for the help. Really. Means a lot. Would you do me a favor, a personal one? Could you give Brannigan a visit? I dare not do it myself. We have a history.
Anything we should know?
He's old. And sad. He's a smart man. Very smart. Just be careful.
He seemed
It's
to
not
be
correct.
digging a grave. Did he lose anyone recently?
I don't know. He hasn't
Yeah.
left his home.
We'll go check on him.
Thank you. I'll be at the front line. Good luck. And he marches
you.
out. No. Give me personally 1 second. I need to use the bathroom.
Mhm.
I'll go ahead and roleplay.
Yeah.
Decide what your next move should be.
Oh, Wyndon. Just kind of lead Wyndon outside.
Mm-hmm. No.
Let's say we see how acidic this water really is.
Wyndon just kind of stretches a little bit, cracks his neck, and starts to pull some instruments out, and then some like really tough rawhide kind of gloves. And then he
Kane dips his pinky in the water.
Wyndon's just
Looks
kind of
it.
like, what does it taste like?
Well, we're about to find out.
Yeah, he just asked that. Yeah, I'll kind of wait until he gets back as well, because basically taking one of the glass containers that he has multiples of, and he's just got these tongs, and he's just gonna dip it in there and take a sample, and then he's going to take the sample of the acid that he had from the ogre or the troll, and look at it.
I'm just sitting
Alright.
next to Palo and I'm like, are you gonna drink all your ale?
Not really. I'm more of a sipper. You want the rest?
I left
Yeah.
mine on the table untouched.
Oh, never mind. I grabbed this.
Oh.
Oh, so drink it.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
just
want
thought I
another?
had to take something.
Oh, so drink
Um,
Yeah. Go ahead,
Jonathan,
Jake.
we went out to the water.
All of you?
Not, huh?
No,
No, me and Wyndon,
Mm-hmm.
and I asked him, we should take a look at how acidic this really is, and I dipped my pinky in and licked it.
In the lake?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you dip your finger in and you feel it tingling on the tip. It's not like dissolving your skin and bone, but it's like, when you get like liquid on your hands that says you should wash it off immediately. It's kind of that reddish, tingly, pins and needles sort of thing. You
Yeah.
feel that.
Like resin.
Yeah.
Whenever I
like-
make dice and I get resin on my hands, it's like, oh, this is fine. And then like 15 seconds later, I'm like, that's not fine.
Exactly. It's like getting like a citrus in a cut. It's
Yeah,
kind of like steam.
Okay.
And you taste it, and it tastes like shit. You definitely discovered that. Do you think there's
It's-
actual shit in this lake?
It's shit.
And so Wyndon had taken out some like hide gloves and got one of his glass flasks, and he kind of has these tongs and he dips it in the water and fills the flask up, lets it kind of drip away, and he just takes that sample, and then when they go inside he's going to take the acid sample that he got from was it a troll or an ogre? I can't remember.
It was an ogre. It
An
was a
ogre.
Very,
Okay.
very weird looking ogre, but it was an ogre.
Yeah. So he's taking that sample, and that's the sample from the lake, and he's just gonna kind of look at the both of them,
Mm-hmm.
test their pH levels and shit.
You would notice that the water is quite clearly acidic. It has that sort of property. The ogre is the ogre's acid is way more concentrated because you got it directly from the thing. The ogre might have contributed to the poisoning of the lake. However, it is now dead. So you'll have to see maybe in a couple of days, maybe in a day, if it continues. And
Okay.
if it doesn't continue, then it was the ogre. But if it's still going, then there's clearly something else involved.
Okay. The next thing he wanted to do was go over to where their sick and wounded are,
Okay.
to just kind of see signs and symptoms. And he also kind of keeps an eye on Kane to see if there's any adverse effects from licking that, like sickness wise.
Okay. So Kane, you feel a bit queasy. It's not making you ill because you've only had a tiny little bit. But yeah, you don't feel great. You're kind of sweating a little bit more than you expected. And at the hospital, you would hear a lot of clamoring a lot of moaning and some yelling as well. Shouts of pain. You would see people running around in white smocks and like these kind of cloth face masks. That are just, they used to be white, now they're very red and green. Maybe about 4 people are working here as nurses and doctors, and there's one who's sort of the head nurse. She's running the place. This kind of younger woman, maybe about 22 or so, with this bright orange hair that's kind of tied up in a tight bun underneath a white hat with stains of red on it. Sort of palish skin, seems to be like a studier. Stays indoors, probably works in a hospital before in a bigger city. She has like sort of a pink complexion with brown speckled freckles on her face. And she look at you as she kind of bumps into you as you both sort of wander into the hospital. Excuse me, are you sick? You don't look ill. Could you move, please?
Sure. Steps out of the way.
All right, thank you very much. And she just walks past you and carries on. And you see like 2 aides following her. Yeah.
Wyndon just looks at a kind of distance at some of the people that are sick, at the people that are like screaming, kind of like seeing the differences of like what's going on, just to get an idea of how it's affecting. Like if I see someone that's got a gash in their leg, it's not because of the acid, but like people that are, just ill. Just wanted to get an idea.
You see all sorts of injuries around here. A lot of amputations have happened. But you would find the people who are sick, they are kind of gaunt. They're always holding their stomach. They feel incredibly sick and queasy all the time. You see a lot of them are throwing up, and it smells terrible. But they just seem to like having stomach problems. That's forcing them to purge.
Okay.
But like that's really it. There's really no outward symptom apart from like general illness, like the coughing and the queasy looking. You kind of don't want to get too close as you feel like one of them's going to throw up on you at any moment.
Okay.
That sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Then just kind of looks around, gets an idea, and then go ahead and head back to the inn
Okay.
for now.
Right. How much do we have left?
We
Um,
We have.
We're
How
3
long
hours
did you
in.
say you wanted to go? We're exactly 3.
So 1 more hour then. Okay.
Hmm?
All right.
It's whatever your preference is, honestly.
We'll get the full 4 hours. So back in the tavern, Palo, what are you doing? You just sort of sat quietly drinking?
Well, I'm sat there watching Dara down pretty much all of Kane's ale.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of like, wow. Okay. And then I look
Wipe
over and
pale off my face.
yeah, I'm like, should we get going down south and pretty much see what's up with Mr. Longbeard down there?
Doesn't seem like a bad idea. If there's so much trouble, you probably shouldn't be that far away from everyone. Could also help if you chatted with the bridge guard, so we can plan
That too.
better tonight.
I guess bridge first, and then we'll meet up with the other 2. Let's go see Dimitri.
Sounds good. It seems if Brennigan is preemptively digging a grave, then maybe Wyndon can help in some way, so we probably want him with us.
Yeah.
Unless it's too late.
Plus, they're probably busy.
Plus, they're probably
All right.
Did you finish your ale?
I just kind of I look up from the map I drew, and just kind of give you a side eye and just push my ale over to you as I continue looking at my map.
You finished. I'd hate to waste it. They made quite a big deal about us even getting any.
That's true. I'm
Understand?
not a big ale fan, anyways.
I'm honestly
More of a
not
mead
either.
guy.
Mead is good. I do enjoy mead.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get going.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah, you all head north over this kind of rickety old bridge. You would notice the river itself is like a large. Sorry, it's not as large as most ponds, lakes, and stuff like that, but it's unfathomably. I can't. The words are failing me again. Unfathomably. It's a hard one.
Yeah, it is.
Unfathomably deep. I nailed it that time. Sure. It's completely black on the top. You don't see the bottom. It's, as for a fact that pond, you could even call it, is not deep, but it looks like a void into another dimension of shadow. It's just this bizarre black pit, and you kind of feel like you're walking over space itself as you cross the bridge. It's barely moving.
I see why they have no drinking water.
Yeah, it looks gross and kind of scary.
So they
Yeah,
must
this
have
place
washed
sucks.
in.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah, Bobby talks so great about this place. I only assume this wasn't black then.
Well, let's hope we can, I guess, make it not black anymore. A nice hue of I don't know, even green.
Green's fine.
That'd be better.
It's
Yeah.
better.
All right, we're just gonna keep going
Okay.
up to the bridge.
Yeah, eventually you arrive at this old fortification. Spikes have been set into the mud that stretch out and blockade the bridge. Sort of a one-way trip to your own death if you want to cross it. You will see on your side there are maybe about 15 people. These people seem better rested and better armed than the people in the south. You think they've had more problems in the north than on Gerard's front. You would see at the far end of the bridge a pair of ogres are sat. They look a bit different to the ones you've seen. Big, bulky, but covered in this fine red cloth that just drapes over them. Makes them look like strange red ghosts. They wield in their arms these large, you could call them ballista. They're monstrously large crossbows, built only for ogres. Whoever's running these people clearly knows how to wield their strength. You would see two people call you out before you get there, and a man walks up to you all. This man is old, like a lot of people in this town, maybe about 50. Probably lived here for a lot of his life. You would think, at least. Around his neck lies what is basically like a voodoo doll. A straw doll that's vaguely shaped like a humanoid. Multiple thorns have grown out of its chest through a small pin and are splayed out like someone splaying a spider web from a person or hanging their guts from trees. Kind of this eerie, foresty sort of talisman. He wears like regular brown clothes, a tunic, kind of unimpressive. Clearly a guy who isn't very flashy. But the thing you notice the most on his pale skin is the right side of his face is completely melted. It's red and raw. You see the teeth through his gums as if completely been ripped off. His eye is closed ever so slightly because of seemingly a fire that has permanently disfigured him. The hair in his head is completely gone on that side, and he shaved the rest to match. He walks up to you all with kind of a very casual gait. Clearly a man who is relaxed even in these tough times. Well, all of you must be new in town. It's good to see you. He holds out a hand. My name is Dmitri. I'm the
I-
bridge guardian here. Head
I go-
carpenter.
I go and put my hand out towards him. You know, shake his hand, good firm. Just say, "Hello, Fiero, at your service." This is Dara.
He nods at you and puts his hand away. It's good to see both of you. I'm assuming you've already been introduced to me, and well, Gerard as well.
Yeah, Gerard mentioned you.
Well, what can I do you for? There's a lot going on right now. It is not exactly safe.
Yeah. I noticed it was not safe when I saw that, and I pointed towards the two ogres holding the crossbows. That doesn't look safe at all.
Well, thankfully we're out of the range. I don't want to waste bolts on us, it seems. Maybe they are having a supply line issue as well.
Well, that gives
Can
us
only
time, I
hope.
guess. Yeah.
Good hope.
We came to ask a couple questions about the situation in general.
Go right ahead.
So, I guess first things first, the acid problem.
Hmm.
Do you have any clues on what might be causing that?
Well, we see a lot of movement on the other side of the bridge. The dawn of every day, strange black liquid leaks from the north. It crawls down and, well, mixes with the water. And, well, you don't want to know how I've discovered the other thing that lurks within these waters.
Does that have to do with that? And I point towards his face, the side.
No, this was years ago.
Thank God. I mean, not thank God, but that's terrible. But
It is all. Do not have to fall over yourself saying sorry. Now, the problem with the lake, I just have to say that, clearly these creatures do not know how to use bathrooms.
oh,
And it's attributing to our problem over here. The bastards do it out of spite, I swear.
does everyone here know that? That
What?
guard, that guards it. About the
No
other
what?
thing, about the bathroom.
And we've seen it.
No,
We try to shoot them in the ass whenever they show up.
I mean, I try.
It's a good time.
Anyone hit?
I've got two. It's quite a long distance.
I mean,
Honestly, I don't think we should be wasting bolts, but it's just fucking boring over here.
all right. So, with the whatever black liquid that is, and them being very generous to the population with their feces, I'm guessing are they all based over on the church side?
No, not all of them. Gerard has had some problems in the past. They seem to attack at both angles at the same time. Which is probably the reason why they haven't attacked us recently.
Hmm.
We locked down the bridge. They can't pincer us, and attacking from the south, clearly their forces are divided. However, from what I saw, and well, I remember it quite well, rocks were flying from the northeast. Yes, northeast. More east. There's a forest just down there. He points over, and far on the east, past this large rotten tree, over the fields, there's a big forest.
And I'd assume that would be the goblins and whatever else is out there with the siege weapons.
You can only assume, yes.
So the field north of us, like up here, is this a rice field similar to?
It is, yeah.
All right.
That one actually seems pretty alright.
Yeah.
It's kind of in a nice spot where they're protecting it. It's not like amazing, and it's not working very
I mean,
well.
it's better
but
enough.
better
Yeah.
enough,
Oh, biscuit, what the fuck? I was trying to put her down and she stabbed the shit out of my wrist.
Oof. So the north, is that just the mountainside
Yeah.
that's around?
Yes, there's mountains to the north, and then the river sort of disconnects it. And then, sort of across the bridge to the north is the church, where my personal theory is that's where they're hiding out. Well, part of them at least. But I could be wrong.
Now this is gonna sound very direct. But there's no other like exits out from the village that's safe to exit out of, besides maybe south, right?
Maybe south. I've not exactly made a habit of checking. All
Yeah,
we
'cause-
know is that they control the roads. We can't
Yeah.
go north because that's into the forest. Can't go south because they're there as well.
There's fewer now.
That is true. There's few.
And that's good.
Is there another path that we could take that isn't this bridge to get across, or is this not in the village, but out more in the wilderness, possibly?
I know these lands quite well, but unless you're willing to climb a mountain, no.
So even if we go north on this side of the river, there's a good chance the river won't be passable till the mountains.
Yes,
They have them poisoned that far up, possibly.
I don't know. We don't go up that far. We need it here.
Would it be possible for us to get up that far?
If you're strong enough, yes. If they don't attack you. Anything's possible if you try hard enough, huh?
That's true. Is there any path into the mountain at all?
There are paths, yes. Winding and old. Kind of hard to get lost. Oh, kind of easy to get lost.
So, I'm sorry, you said the forces may be separated, a northern and a southern.
Yes. We've been attacked from both sides, both times. And they can't, if they don't use the bridge, I can't imagine where else they came from.
Well, I
They
know.
came from the bridge, and they came up from the south.
So, I know clearing the water is important, but it may be more possible to attack from the south and work our way up. Because we at least came from down there. We have somewhere we know to travel to.
That's true.
Well, I mean, the plan's a plan, right? I can't move from my post here.
Do
I
you
don't think many of
have...
us can support me.
Yes, do you have any sort of forces that you could spare if something was to... some plan was to come to light?
I mean, You have to talk to Gerard about that. But if there is a plan to be made, then why not? Depends on what sort of plan it is.
Seems like any plan is better than sitting here and slowly starving to death.
True, but emotions out. I'm just waiting for them to make a mistake. That's part of my plan. They're fucking
It's a
idiots.
good plan.
Emotions over towards these people. If their head can be cut off, then we should be fine. Sure, we might starve, but, well, they'll leave. And we can go to a different town. I think this place is way past saving. It's just about survival now. Not the first place I've seen this at.
Do you have
Not going to be the
any
last.
idea? Because, like you said, it's survival now. They're not looking. I don't understand why they would be attacking now and wouldn't just let you leave if they wanted the land. Why do they want you all dead?
I don't know. That's the problem, isn't it? I don't get it. Why would they even attack us? We're in the middle of the fucking swamp. All we have is a shitty little village. I've been living here for only a few years. I chose this place because it's out of the way. There is no reason they should be here.
Someone has a reason.
Yeah.
Someone's band them together. Makes me
Questions like
uneasy.
that, I don't like to bother myself with such questions. Just wondering why is it's a little pain in the ass. I just
That
need to
ain't
focus on doing what I'm doing, you know.
And so, I have some suspicions as to why things are happening.
Alright.
I'll have to look around more, but if I find out anything, I'll let you and Gerard know.
Alright.
Uh,
Well,
one more thing, I guess, before we head out.
go ahead.
The guards here, how often do they shift posts?
One a day. So, in the evening, we shift with the night crew, and then the day crew come in. I am the night crew. He thinks for a second. I think Annie runs the day crew, the bar lady.
All right.
I'll be sleeping in the day. I've got a long night ahead of me.
All right. If anything, I'll see if I can let her know as well.
Alright. And try not to think too hard. If it makes you uncomfortable and all of that. I know it's not good advice, but drilling yourself into the ground isn't going to help anything. Hell, if it makes you angrier, go right ahead, but sadness really creeps in over here. And if you have to be in here for a week, the little things matter most.
I like to get to know my enemy. It's worked so far. And I like smile and see my like fangs.
And I admire that, definitely.
Yeah.
He
It's a hunter
rests-
idea.
He rests against a building, takes his helmet off and looks out onto the river. Well, I wish you a good hunt.
All right.
I
Have a
hope we
good
can
night,
help.
Dimitri.
And if I need help, I'll scream.
I'll hear you.
I'd hope so.
All right. I guess we're just gonna start heading down to meet up with the other two.
What? Alright. Yeah, you'd all gather up around the swallow's tail. Sort of standing outside, You would notice the rain has slowed down now. A little pitter-patters. Not as torrential as it once was before. You almost feel safe. Almost. What do you all want to do?
Let's get the mics ready.
Guess
Wyndham,
go over to. Oh yeah, yeah.
we figured you may want to come with us to talk to Brennigan. It seems something may be wrong, and maybe your talents can lend some help and some trust with him. If it's not too late.
Yeah, it's worth a try.
He seemed interested in staring at me when we came in.
It probably
I can-
wasn't anything. You're fine.
I can talk to him. It's fine. I was just going to be upfront with him and ask.
That's what I do, to be honest. Alright. I guess let's go talk to Brennigan.
Alright. As you are walking towards the south, you would spot something you didn't really notice before. Trapped between the fisher's hut and a series of buildings is an old cart. You would see a big symbol on the front being displayed. It looks like a serpent's face with 3 eyeballs. You would see a person, a shadow of a person really, sat. And this like younger woman is talking to it. Seemingly some sort of strange this person in a cart. Maybe a fortune teller, maybe a psychic. Just a oddity that you notice as you walk past.
Can I walk by and I guess get intrigued real quick?
Sure. What do you want to know?
I just kind of want to like walk up and say, "Lady, you all right?"
He turns to you. Oh, we're doing all right. We're just having a conversation. Would you mind?
Like, who?
She moves back a bit, and you see this figure sat in the cart. Dark purple fingers steepled, wearing this mask that depicts that of some sort of serpent with 3 eyes. You see the figure just stare at you.
Oh,
Sorry,
Just kind of
dearest
elbow
Braven.
Wyndham.
um,
Does that look
Sorry,
like your mask?
oh, you're
My
talking
mask.
Didn't you take the snake eyes mask?
Mm-mm. No, it was
Oh.
cracked. So I just left it.
It definitely. I mean, you all remember it.
Mm-hmm.
It
Mhm.
resembles it in some sense. This one has 3 eyes instead of 2.
Is the third like a third eye, kind of?
Yeah, it's like in the forehead. Yeah.
I guess I just kind of like make the connection in my head. I'm like, I'm terribly sorry. You two have a nice night. I'll get out of your hair.
Hey,
Have a
you
good one.
nice night.
I just back up and head with the crew.
Okay.
Did anyone else notice that?
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's bite off what we can chew first.
You're right.
One thing at a time.
You head down to the untouched hut. You would notice the grave has been fully dug and covered. 2 headstones sit, both of them buried. Do you read them, or do you go straight to the door?
Oh,
I
read
for
'em.
sure read them.
Yeah, same.
I walk by.
you would see just a name: Emmeline Black and Sarah Black. Okay.
Guys, I don't think we should expect too much out of this conversation.
That is fair. Also, one moment. And I'm just gonna, real quick, just kind of like with like the chakram on my my sword, just like pull it up and just kind of prick my hand, and then just make like a little symbol on each of the graves on the back.
What sort of symbol?
Symbol, very much just like a almost like a sun, just a regular sun.
Okay.
The classic like 5-year-old drawing a sun in the corner, but it's the whole thing.
Just a half circle.
Yeah, I just like shittily like in the corner, just. No, I draw like a full circle. So.
Hello, don't you think we should have talked to him first? What is that?
It's a blessing. I gotta show my
Oh.
respect.
Okay.
I don't judge you, okay?
Oh, I was just curious.
Do you
I judge
wear-
all of you.
That's fair.
I don't think anything less of you, but
Wyndon knocks on the door.
So, John, what were you asking before that?
Do you wear your symbol openly? Just bare
Um, I have it on my neck, but it's usually draped to the side.
Okay. So yeah, you go knock on the door. You would hear this shuffling, and you hear the sound of a book being placed down. The door would open, a bit of a crack. You would see this same hairy man, his face matted with rainwater. You would notice his right hand is clutched to his chest, while his left hand cradles the door. His right hand is covered in bandages, and they're like this deep red. And the man is clearly ill. The sweat pouring down from him. He's has raspy breath. His eyes are bloodshot. It looks like he hasn't slept in days. He stares at you with one eye open and the other eye squinting. So, what is it you want?
you're muted.
Huh?
Thank you.
I didn't too quietly.
Oh no, no, Jonathan or Joseph
was
was muted.
I was, yeah. I was thinking about what I was going to. So, Wyndon pulls up his cowl over his nose and mouth, but then kind of looks a little bit more closely at his hands and says, "Well, we're here to come check on you. Maybe we can help."
I don't recognize you.
We're new. We just came in. He just
Uh,
looks
you-
over
you-
to
you-
everyone else.
Yeah, you saw us. You saw us earlier.
You've got eyes on you, I see. He looks at you. Interesting mask.
Thanks. I made it.
He just stares at you for a little bit longer. Well,
Take it off.
he looks at the tadpole wriggling in your head. I knew there was something strange with a lot of you. You've all been touched in different ways. The door slowly opens. You see the gangly man stood there. If you wish to enter, that be your prerogative. Stay outside if you do not wish to learn. And you're not willing to listen.
Wyndham walks in.
Yeah.
I
Says
walk
thank
through
you.
the door and go to shake his hand with both my hands.
He doesn't shake yours, he just sort of looks at you. And as you're all walking in, he's already keeping like a solid, maybe a couple of feet, 3, 4, 5 feet away from all of you.
My apologies, I'm sorry.
He doesn't say anything. You would see, looking around the room, there is a hatch on the floor next to the door that goes into a basement, and a hatch on the roof above you that goes to a second story. You would see just a mess of books and other sort of alchemist paraphernalia all around. Bizarre anatomical symbols drawn on the wall. Like, what is that? The medical symbol of the guy with like the 6 arms that shows all
Oh.
the stuff.
Da Vinci's thing.
It's kind of
Vitruvian man.
Yeah.
something like that. But it's like that, but for creatures you've never seen before. Hundreds of books line this place. There's some sort of cave of knowledge. A single blood-covered chair sits at the center. The left arm, probably corresponding to his arm, coated in red. He goes and takes a seat. You see a large circular carpet on the ground. Kind of stands out as it's gaudy and red. So, you just came to visit me. See if I was doing well.
We were asked
Is that
to.
it? By who?
Jerome? Gerard.
Gerard.
That old fool. Thinks he knows what's best for us all. He's just a sad soldier, like the rest of them. He motions towards the library of books along the wall. Take one if it fancies you. Maybe you'll learn something you haven't been taught before.
I feel like this entire time, like, I'm just kind of standing, kind of like keeping an eye out the window and stuff. But as soon as he like kind of mentions that, I'm like, I'm intrigued, and I walk over and kind of peruse the titles or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say I do the same.
After he didn't shake my hand, I just felt Kane felt kind of like awkward, and he puts his mask back on. And then, as soon as he's told he can go grab a book, he goes to look.
Okay.
Wyndon actually, so you said he has like a whole like workshop kind of thing, right? Alchemist
Yeah.
supplies and everything.
The whole shebang. He's clearly a scholar.
Wyndon just looks at him and says, I'd like to look at the books, but first, do you mind if I utilize some of this equipment? I only have my traveling gear.
To what ends?
Well, we took down an ogre on the way here, and I took a sample of the acid from the lake. I want to somewhat look at those together under with some of the equipment, if you wouldn't.
Don't go making a mess.
I won't.
As the rest of you start perusing books, is there any book in particular you're looking for?
I'm just curious to say what the variety is. I don't think, and she's really cares about anything particular. She's just interested in what there is to learn.
there are a lot of books about the occult. You know, all sorts of things: devils, demons, lycanthropes, dragons, creatures that have long since been mysteries to the modern man. Um, you would find a entire bevy of this stuff, and you know this stuff is people don't let people read this stuff. Like it's you don't have a book in a library that is how to summon a devil, but he has a book that states basically a very coded way of saying how to interact with the underworld, and that would be the book on his table next to his chair.
Oh, oh, bud.
Is there anything that has to do with like my deity or anything?
You would find a book of obscure deities, basically a collection of information about some of them.
Yeah, shit.
You might have to take a little bit. Yeah.
I'll take that
Shared
then.
reading. Fuck.
I'm looking for anything on parasites and maybe monsters or creatures that can alter your mind, stuff like that.
You would find a lot of books about like biological parasites and like monstrous parasites. But the thing that would strike out to you the most would be a book called Contacting the Elder World. Which is a phrase you've heard before. As you're all perusing, I would like... Actually, what is all of your passive perceptions? It's 10 plus your wisdom plus your proficiency if you're proficient in perception. So 10 plus your perception.
11.
11.
What'd you say, Tay? You cut out?
11.
Okay, I said 12.
No. Passive perception. Sorry. 13.
13? Okay. Palo?
I think he got a phone call.
Oh shit.
You said contacting the what?
The
That book?
Elder World.
Okay.
Dara, you would hear a creaking upstairs, as if someone's walking. You would notice that Brannigan has noticed it too, and he quickly starts the conversation to obfuscate it. So, you find anything you fancy?
I have 2 questions for you if you don't mind. Maybe 3.
Go ahead.
You seem interested in the occult and cults. Do you know anything of a serpent god? Or a cult that worships what they call a god?
You're talking about the problem we have at hand.
Yeah. We're not from here.
I can tell. He thinks for a second. He motions his working arm and stutters with a cough as he holds his mouth and finishes the point at an old journal he has on his desk. From what I've seen, when they came for me and mine, they announced its name. Abraxas. Abraxas, dark god of the future, the present and the past. A creature that can see everything, all realities. They know how you're going to die. They know how they're going to die. It's questionable, really. What sort of fool would believe that? That fate isn't a thing you can change.
Is it? Your other book looks a little interesting, like you may be trying to change or talk to something.
You got a keen eye on you. Eyes of a wolf. Well, maybe I am. That's not a problem, is it?
Not if it's not a problem for your village.
They're not my village. If they'd stop trying to accept me as one of theirs, I might be able to live out my last few days in some peace and fucking quiet.
Peace and quiet's not all what it's cracked up to be. I can promise you that. I've had 200 years of it.
Well, I don't
So,
have that blessing.
if you... I don't know which question to ask first. Your journal. Going back to the snake. Would you mind if I borrowed that for some reading tonight? I could bring it to you in the morning again. I'd like to know all about it from first-hand experience first.
Not for free. He thinks. There's something I want you to do for me. It seems all of you are willing. You're asking questions that no one else wants to ask. You want to learn the truths of the universe. The things that more weak people wouldn't want to know. Or at least the truths of your surroundings. This cult, the people within it, are scum. Worse than the creatures who dwell at the most bottomless, darkest depths of hell. When you find their leader and you try and kill them, I want you to torture them. I want you to obliterate their self, their ego, their life. I want you to make them suffer in ways that humans wouldn't be able to imagine. Do that, and you can have any book you want.
Well, I think we were on our way to do that when something intervened earlier today, but if nothing steps in, maybe.
I need a yes or a no.
Yes.
The world works in absolutes. You say yes?
Yeah.
back.
me-
Wyndon does this with his thumb as he's looking at the thing.
They've
Just
killed
like, yeah.
countless people. What good are they to this world?
I don't just want you to kill this one. I want you to obliterate it from the face of the world.
We have our ways.
I can
Pretty well.
start with its mind.
Also, I'm back.
Hey.
Hello.
Um,
Do you, Lewis, a quick recap.
Yeah.
Brannigan is basically asking you all to find this cult leader and obliterate them. And not just in combat, be cruel, be unique, and harm this person beyond human understanding. And everyone else has agreed to it. Does Palo agree to it?
I have a couple of questions.
Go ahead.
Why not just kill them outright? What is your reason?
Does it have something to do with those graves?
Very keen eyes. Almost too keen, some would say.
Greatest weakness and curse.
Of course it does. You'd be a fool not to assume otherwise. They took everything from me. And I want you to take everything from them.
One more follow-up question. I mean, my opinion does not change, or my choice does not change. Are there still 2 bodies in those graves?
He doesn't answer.
And is whatever that's caused your silence to that question going to cause the same amount of agony and pain to either yourself or anyone else near here?
I can promise that it can't leave this home. My own life is forfeit now. I've decided it.
And if you lose your life, it's not going to cause any repercussions with whatever's walking upstairs?
No, I should be gone. Should be gone in the morning.
Are you going to be gone in the morning?
I don't know. I'll be gone when I'm gone.
I kind of like stand up and just like lean towards him a bit, and I'm like, well, whenever you're gone, I guess that can be the start of a new beginning for some people. At least that's the bright side. And we're gonna help with this whole cult issue. And I can promise you we're gonna bring them not only physically, but mentally to their knees. Like a little smile.
He knows. You would notice something, all of you. The ground underneath you is glowing. Through the red carpet, this dim red hue, glistening through the fibers. It's very faint, but you notice it. It's a circle. The rest is... Oh, I keep on using that word, I can't fucking use it. The rest is hidden. Clearly there's something going on. And you all feel bound to carry out this order. And I think that's where we're going to end it for today.
Oh,
Ooh.
Nice.
I was like, son of a bitch.
Nice.
I know.
Like, I have to keep my word? Fuck!
I had a feeling that's what I was like, I'm not going to say anything first.
I am. I'm ready.
Soul is mine!
Kane was ready.
Yeah, we just have to... We have to torture someone, okay.
I'm very interested in everything.
Hey, if I die, I did my job.
Right.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Jonathan. That was so fun and
Yes.
spooky.
It was fun, thank
I
you.
was so excited to see what sort of nonsense is going on in this creepy area. But
Who has been pooping in the water?
who's pooping?
That's the real secret to this campaign. Figuring out who's pooping in the water.
I need to know exactly who the ones are that's pooping in the water.
I think it's
honestly.
I think it's smuggler.
That's Dimitri. And he earlier he said you don't want to know how I know. It's because he did it.
Yeah, he's shooting the other ones in the ass.
Because he would have been named Shitter.
But we'll
Not
be
sugar.
back next Saturday for some more of this. Until then, come back tomorrow morning playing Minecraft. Come back tomorrow night when playing Game Watch. Come back Tuesday, watch the Megon. At some point in time during the week, we're going to have Midway Madness up. Tomb of Annihilation's coming up on YouTube. Video games next week. Lewis, you want to play more Overcooked?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll probably play more Overcooked. That was super fun. We'll see if Greener and Emmanuel are free still. Then nothing on Friday. Also, next Saturday, look, I got a full day of games next Saturday. We'll do this, but then at night, go over to High Shelf Gaming, where it might be the mid-season finale of sorts of Mass Effect before we take our summer break, so David can have baby. And then it all repeats.
The baby?
Again. Da baby.
David births a child.
Yeah, that's it, guys. LSD podcast. Go check it out.
That's true.
Jonathan was on an episode. Lewis's is on every episode. It is his.
So far.
If I'm not on an episode,
For
it's
now.
over. Like,
Episode's not coming out. You're the only guy who
Ain't no,
edits
ain't no SD, ain't no SD podcast.
yeah.
Standard definition podcast? No. Gross.
If there's a point where I'm not on it for some reason, I will legitimately drop the bitrate of the actual audio to nothing for about 5 minutes.
Love it. And then I'm still demanding that when you do the cryptid episode, I gotta be there. Louis.
I am hoping soon, because we don't have a plan currently because David's in fucking Idaho with his girlfriend. When he gets back, we're gonna plan the cryptid episode.
But that's it, guys. Thanks for hanging out. There's all sorts of links and stuff below. It'll be super fun, and we'll do it. We'll do it all again.
Do it all again.
Do it all again.
All right.
Have good weeks, good days. Don't be a dick. I have too many tabs open. Okay, I found Streamlabs now. Bye.